Yes, it is, everybody. It is showtime. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Robert, a.k.a. The Tall Man. This is my lovely wife, Lisa, a.k.a. Mrs. Tall Man. Not that anyone ever calls her that. We are coming to you live right now from Tall Man Mobile, somewhere here in Central Florida. We hope you guys had an amazing week. I know our week was great. So do us a favor, give us a shout out in the chat. Let us know where you are watching from tonight. Of course, we know a lot of our friends are here. Macrina, all aboard for Sunday night. Bev, hello, how are you? Ahoy! Macrina's got her popcorn. We don't have popcorn tonight. We've got pineapple and sourdough. Anyway, tickets please, tickets please, tickets please. Yes, you've missed you guys, and thumbs up. There you go. Thank you so much. And we've missed you all too, you know? Mama Tallman says, I just had ice cream. Go figure. Woot woot, yeah. See the countdown? I told you I was going to get a countdown going. Countdown to the TMC group cruise. Woohoo! Everybody's seen everybody's seen it now. Patricia's seen it. Hello, Justina. Again, Patricia. Elaine, howdy. Elaine, how are you? Tuesday. Elaine is Tuesday. Gina, hello. God evening to you, too. Yep, says Mama Tall Man. Hello, Antonio. And yes, a happy Father's Day to all of the fathers watching us. Oh, lost a minute to the buffer. That's okay. It's not a problem. So we are going to give you a week's wrap up in the cruise industry. We're going to do some news. We're going to actually talk about some weather, and we're going to talk about some entitlement stuff. We all know how much we love that. While I'm doing that, you do me a favor and turn on those lights right there, Lisa. We forgot to turn them on.
I will do that.
Lisa's regular mic isn't working, so we have a backup. So, but we can't get into anything before we show you balcony cam. So there we go with that beautiful sunset taken on our last cruise there on the Emerald Princess right off the promenade. Right? So there, hopefully everybody gets a little taste of that. We'll bring that back here in a little bit, but we want to make sure that we get into the content here because there's so much going on in the cruise industry this week. I'm trying to get all this stuff working. There we go. All right.
Here's the latest cruise news with your host, the Tall Man.
All right, so here are this week's headlines. Royal takes delivery of the Utopia of the Seas. It's on its way to Florida now. It's going to be here in a week or two. Hopefully those enjoy it. It's going to be doing 3 and 4 days, all right? A veteran has been denied boarding with a service dog because he did not have the proper documentation. Guys, documentation. We've talked about this so many times. He had a lot of the proper documentation, but there was 1 or 2 countries that they were going to that required something different, and he didn't have it, so they denied his boarding. Celebrity has laid the keel for the new Celebrity XL, and at the same time, they sold 2 of their Expedition class ships. That sounds fun. All right, let's see what do we have going on here. Seattle moves up the date for required shore power by 3 years. I mean, this wasn't just like a couple of months, 3 years. And so now all these cruise lines that dock in Seattle, they have just a couple of years now. They moved it, I think it was from 2030 up to 2027. So they're going to have to get on the ball. All right. There was a fire on the MSC Armonia this week. It started in the laundry, and that seems to be where most fires on cruise ships seem to start. Okay. All are safe. Ship's been inspected and cleared to continue sailing. Princess is changing their, excuse me, I'm joking. Sorry, everybody. Things got go on live. Choking on one's own saliva. Princess, they're changing their dining later this year. They're going to be offering 3 types of options. You can have your traditional dining, which is seating either like a 5:30 and 7:30 or something like that. They're going to have reservable dining times. This is going to allow you to actually pick whatever time you want, which would be reserved, right? And you can change reservations depending on the day, right? So if you want to do 5 o'clock one day and 7 o'clock because you're in a port, you can do that. And of course, there's always anytime dining. Disney's Lookout Key has opened. However, it's a half a mile walk from the ship to shore. And there is a picture on the screen right now from the ship, and you can barely see the shore. It is a heck of a walk. Make sure you bring your walking shoes. They do have some golf carts, but, I promise you it's not enough for everybody. So if you do have mobility issues, there's something for you. But other than that, it's going to be a nice hike. Make sure you bring some water. Margaritaville at Sea Islander has arrived in Tampa, and it's having its maiden voyage as we speak. We're supposed to be on it. That's a story for later on. And Via V delayed yet again. Now it's due to have its first sailing of its non-stop sailing for the next 3 years on June 21st. Now, this is like the 5th time it's been delayed. It kind of looks more like this now instead of being in the water. So I hope they can get this all together and get this in the water. Right? NCL has changed their steakhouse menu. They've gone from 4 courses to 3, and they've removed some popular items. What I find most amazing about this, everybody, is they didn't do a press release. They just did it. And they changed the menus online, and some people found it and were a little bit upset about it. So if you like to go to their steakhouse, which I believe is called Cagney's, you are going to be missing some items, like the 20-ounce steak is gone, and some of your popular favorite appetizers. So you should check the menu online. Italy seizes a cruise ship over poor conditions. Originally, the ship was the Costa Magica. Now it's the Goddess of the Seas. And from that picture, it more looks like hell on seas than the Goddess of the Seas. The ship had been being used to house officials, police, security for the G7 summit that was going on there. And they reported the just ungodly conditions. It was really bad. It was so bad they did the inspection, and then they seized the ship and forced everyone off it until they could fix it. So yeah, what a mess. What an absolute mess. And lastly, Carnival has banned Passenger for Life for tapering with the water bottle hack. This has been in the news several times recently, and it started, a month or two ago when this person first put up something on TikTok. Well, they figured out who it was, and they have now banned this person not just from Carnival, but all Carnival Corporation brand ships. All right? So, guys, if you're going to be doing something underhanded, don't put it up on TikTok or YouTube. Okay? Anyway, so there you go. There are your headline news for this week. There's a lot more that happened. There was a gentleman who was about to go on a pretty lengthy cruise, had insurance, and something happened. In his family, there was a death, and they had to leave. It was like a 32-day voyage. And again, I forget the cruise line. And anyway, they had to leave the ship. Now, unfortunately, their insurance, even though it covered everything, it didn't, I forget what it was. There was some small print in there, and I forget it. It was his father who passed away, who was 89, who was living in an assisting living or a living center, okay, a senior citizens living center. And that was a little bit of the small print in there. So when you get insurance, you really got to read these things. They thought they were covered and they were not. I didn't put it in there, but I remember that was something that really big that happened this week in the news. It was like $20,000. Now, mind you, they'd already spent 20 of the 32 days on the ship. So it wasn't a complete loss. However, it is a very sad story. His father passed away while they're at sea. So
anyway. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that is truly a sad story. My heart goes out to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's look a little bit at the weather, guys. All right. So I'm gonna put my glasses on because I can't see without them now. So this is a 7-day forecast running from today until the 26th or the 25th of June. If I remember, or is this just a 3-day? 20, 21, 22, 23. If you're watching up there at the clock. So it's a 5-day forecast. I apologize. If you note, there's some, things to look at here. If you look to the right of Florida, there is a depression that forms. It's a little tight circle right there. There's a low, and it looks like it's going to come right in just a little bit north or right around Jacksonville. And we can see the date when this happens. And so it's going to happen right around June 21st to the June 22nd timeframe. So that is going to be something to pay attention to for the east coast of Florida and anything going out that way. However, the bigger news really is down there, and to me is in the Gulf of Mexico and in the Mexican area. There is a lot of activity going on there. If you are going out on a cruise over the next 7 days, Cozumel is going to be rainy. It is nearly rainy almost the entire time. There are two different lows that develop. As you can see, there is the first one right there that goes up around Houston. And the second one is going to start right there, but go in kind of through Mexico. The big point is the Gulf is going to be turned up a little bit with all this weather. So if you're coming out of Tampa, if you're coming out of Galveston, if you're coming, or Galveston, or New Orleans and sailing south, you'd be prepared. There might be some rough seas. There's going to be spotty showers in Jamaica over the next 5 to 7 days, as well as Grand Cayman. As you can see, the Lesser Antilles over there on the far right, just sporadic light showers that come and go. Nothing too horrific. Same thing with the Bahamas. So there you go. So there is your weather. So batten down the hatches if you're going to Cozumel. And again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll take just a quick break to say hello to some of the people that came in late, and then we'll get to some entitlement stuff because we know how much you guys love that. We got some more doozies for you guys. And again, thank you so much. Do us a huge favor, right? For those new, if you're new to our show, hit the subscribe button. Become part of the Tall Man Clan. It is free to you, right? Big thumbs up, subscribe. We come to you live at least once a week and give you a wrap up, as well as anytime we're on a cruise ship, we are giving you the most detailed reviews of ships that have truly ever been done. We walk ships front to back, top to bottom, left to right, and do it in real time, to include the passenger cabin decks. So, check out our channel. We're glad to have you there. So let's see here. Who do we have that has come in late? There was Bev. 95 degrees in Pittsburgh this week. Yeah, it's been hot down here in Florida too. Queen's like, countdown, woo! And Balcony Cam makes her so happy. In fact, let's just do this real fast. We'll talk through this through Balcony Cam. There we go, and then we can.
Oh, that sounds good. I
Right?
know everybody loves Balcony Cam.
I know. Elaine is watching from Texas. Antonio, your balcony cam is better than mine. Mine is of a dumpster and a few raccoons. You know what I just realized? Hang on, we got to move. The countdown is cutting your head off up there. You're gonna have to duck. Hello, Nurse Tara. Welcome. Bev, you can imagine walking that with a toddler. Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh, yes.
What were they thinking? Now, I mean, look, obviously there's a reason why Disney did this. What she's talking about, I'm assuming, is the fact that the dock is literally a half a mile out into the ocean.
Yeah.
And so it's probably because there's a reef there.
Oh,
and they
I'm
couldn't
sure.
dig it up because it's protected. Now, I get that. Right? But man, it's Disney. Run a tram. Build a monorail. I mean, something.
I totally agree.
Right?
Yeah.
Just a people walker, something. I mean, that is a long distance.
It is. And looking at that picture, like I was telling you earlier, it looks like one of the bridges going out to the Keys, out to Key West. It's just, this long bridge over water, and you don't really see the land.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's in there quite a way. So, of course, the first passengers to go there were quite shocked.
Oh, I can imagine. Come on, Disney, monorail.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate that. Happy Father's Day. Nurse Tara says Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Happy Father's Day to everyone.
Karina says, glad Carnival's cracked down on those hacks. Copycats would be a health issue if they did wild things. Yeah, I agree 100%. And it just, honestly, that's just disgusting.
That particular one was
really,
just nasty. It really was.
Yeah. The person probably was drinking from the bottle first, right? And then filled it back up with tap water and then glued the top back on. I mean, that's ridiculous.
That's just wrong on so many levels.
Because, I mean, think of it. You're walking to a cabin unsuspecting. You wouldn't think to look that close at the cap. You would just grab the bottle if you were going to do that and just crack it open and begin to drink. So that's just disgusting.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Colonel says, hackety hack, don't come back.
Anthony, you are just on
You
these
are,
things.
I know. Hello, Dr. Cherie. Welcome. Meant to say it will things. Yeah, it's okay. Hey, Chris, how you doing, buddy? Hey, now, happy Father's Day, Robert. I appreciate it. Right back at you, my friend. Thumbs up, everyone in the chat. There you go. Thumbs up to everybody.
Yes, thank you for all the thumbs up.
I wish you guys were on the Islander. Your reviews are so efficient and helpful. Yeah, so we'll just tell you that story real quick. So we originally, a few months ago, planned to try to actually be on the physical inaugural. And due to one thing or another, it just slipped through the cracks because of all the other things we were doing. And so we just didn't get it done. And then, you know, a week or two ago, we started communicating and, you know, with a few of the other cruise tubers out there. We're like, you know, let's not do the inaugural. It's going to be well covered. Let's go the next week. Right. So we're supposed to be on there, not at this moment, but in a couple of days to do the next cruise, which is a 5-day. So I'm like, okay. So a few days ago, I went in, I looked, it's like, I don't know, $350 for an inside cabin. Like, let's do this. Right. So, it goes out of Tampa. It's not a big deal. Just, it's all good. So, funds are there. Okay. We can do this. And so, they were having a sale, 50% off, kids. It's going to go, you know, another 5 days. All right, we'll book and, you know, tomorrow we'll get this done. Because it was very late at night when we decided to do it, and I wasn't going to sit there and do it then. Woke up the next morning, sat down to do it. The price more than tripled, or about tripled. It went up to $1,000 per person for an inside cabin, mind you. I'm like,
yeah, no.
not a chance in hell. Nope, not a chance. Not going to do it. So, we're a little bit disappointed, and we were also talking with Mark and Rocky from This Cruise Life, and so I texted them like, "No, we're not coming now," and they're like, "Holy moly, yeah, it's ridiculous." So anyway,
Yeah, we were surprised at the considerable jump in prices.
yes,
Yeah.
so that's the story. Hello, Ozon. Happy Father's Day to you as well. We appreciate it. Yep, build a monorail. I know, something or a tram for God's sakes. 7-mile bridge in the Keys. You are exactly correct. Wish Robert was on the Islander for a live show tonight. Yeah, we do too. We do as well. But we'll eventually get there. Of course, it'll be well covered by the time we get there because we're about to be heading north and away from water. So yeah, not unfortunately going to happen. So let's talk about some of the entitlement stuff going on right now. Okay. So let me take these glasses back off because I see this better with them. Oh, let me make sure this works. Just always tech stuff with us. I don't, there we go. All right, are we ready? Here we go. So here, number one. All right. Today I talked with a gold member. Must be years since I have done so. Actually, she was crying at the time. Someone had taken her blue pool towel, and she was upset that she's going to have to pay for the replacement fee. Anyway, I broke all the rules and used my pinnacle status to get her a new towel. Now, after she calmed down, we had a great conversation, and I was surprised at how articulate she was, considering she was only a gold member. We are now connected through WhatsApp. She is most certainly the only gold member in my list of contacts. You just never know what can happen on a cruise.
Because your pinnacle status determines how articulate you are.
Right? I'm sorry, anything lower than pinnacles, just toothless, you know,
uneducated,
inbreds, you know, family trees don't fork. But as soon as you hit pinnacle status, ooh, articulation comes in.
You magically regrow those teeth.
Oh my good Lord. All right, let's do the next one. Hopefully you guys enjoy that one. Here we go. Next one. Oh. Are we the only people who don't want to know everything in advance? I like to step onto the ship and say, Wow, without having seen photos and videos of every room. I want to be surprised with the menu selections and the shows without having read 35 people's reviews and opinions. I want to check out the various music venues and see which band I most want to dance to.
I want to know who was holding the gun to their head so that they had to read those 35
No.
reviews. I mean, seriously, if you don't want to know, then don't watch the reviews. How hard is that?
Some of these people. Read them all now! Watch it! Watch it! You're gonna know!
No,
I'm gonna blow your head off!
I don't want to know.
What? Oh, Lord. All right, let's move on. Oh, this is great. Does everyone call the non-Haven class general population or steerage? Or is it just me? Really catching hell in a regular NCL group. Who calls people steerage these days?
I don't know. They must have watched Titanic a few too many times.
Yeah. Oh, I guess we're steerage then. Always.
Yeah, we pretty much always are.
Steerage.
For general population.
He's got to be a pinnacle.
Yeah,
I mean, this
gotta
is
be.
non-Haven class. It's
Well,
NCL,
it's
but
Yale, but yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Oh my good Lord!
If he had a badge, he'd wear it.
Not Pinnacle. There you go, Larry.
That's
that one's
for you, Larry.
All right, let's do the next one. Here we go. Wow, no butter all week so far in the buffet on Apex. I always have toast for brekkie with butter and also on bread with my dinner. So I had none this week. To be honest, it's ruined my meals, especially breakfast. I have never been anywhere ever my whole life where butter wasn't provided. It's bizarre. I'm quite shocked. It's very poor that they tried to claim the plastic soft spreads and pots was butter. I never touched artificial margarine type spreads as they are one of the worst things you can eat. And this pretend muck is rancid. There are mainly Americans on board the Apex. Maybe they don't do proper butter, but this ship sailed from Southampton. My wife found 2 pots of butter on the first day, and that was it. And the staff clearly know, as I ask every morning now, just for the hell of it. So at least they have stopped lying and just say they haven't any.
Here's an American with proper butter that you can't see. You were too fast with that one.
Oh, sorry. Here you go. Well, no, we're going.
automatic.
We're going. We're going on. Because it continues. This was a long one. I'm flabbergasted that nobody has mentioned it, as it's quite diabolical and has spoiled our dining. Whilst the ship is fantastic, the food is nowhere near as good in the buffet as I was expecting it to be. For instance, every single night there has been pork on the carvery and roast pieces of chicken. Exactly the same. Lunch and tea time every day. Is it cutbacks? To be honest, it's not much better than P&O. At least they had lamb and gammon as... Gammon? Yeah, horrible typing. Gammon as well as pork and beef. Gammon. Is gammon?
I wonder if that was supposed to have been salmon.
Yeah, maybe salmon. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Even desserts are underwhelming. You have to ask for them. They have them on display, but someone cuts them up and serves you a tiny inch square piece. So it's embarrassing to be in a queue asking for 4, which probably makes it a standard size dessert. I'm done with the buffet for now. I just don't see how people rate it. So
I was premature with my butter.
we've got butter on our bread.
I've got butter on my sourdough toast.
I agree only somewhat. Like we've talked about this before, like, you know, on Carnival.
Butter chips.
They used to have the butter chips, the butter pats,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. And now they're making their own. They're whipping it up and they put it in the little ramekins. And that's sort of what this person was talking about. And it's a butter-like substance, but it's just not the same.
No,
it just
it's
isn't.
not. I get it. I get that.
I do, but it didn't ruin anything.
But it's because we're Americans, we don't do proper butter, I guess.
Hey, I do proper butter. I got proper butter in the refrigerator in ours.
Right. And
You know what
I
proper
don't like the
butter is.
margarine stuff either.
No, margarine. Who? Ugh. Anyway, let's move on.
All right.
All right. This is great. How's the Wi-Fi without buying the Wi-Fi package? Going on the Symphony to Bahamas soon.
Now that's just funny.
There's no Wi-Fi without the Wi-Fi package. Now, I'm sure that's not exactly what this person meant, but that's exactly what they wrote. So there is... For those who've never been on a ship before, the ships all have Wi-Fi, and they all have apps. Now, you can connect to their app without buying the Wi-Fi. The app will work, which will allow you to get around the ship and make reservations and stuff. However, if you want to check your email or you want to do anything else that would normally require internet or data on your phone, you have to buy the Wi-Fi. So this person wants to know how's the Wi-Fi without buying the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
It isn't.
If you want to use the text feature in the cruise line apps, it's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, you can do that. Well,
Yeah.
Depending on the app. Some
Well,
of them are much
yeah.
friendlier than others. But
They
yeah.
are, and with the exception, I think, of Carnival, the rest of them are included, complimentary. Carnival's chat feature on their app is like $5.
Yeah.
And I know it's nickel and diming, but for me, it's worth the $5. Plus, they, at least on Carnival, they have what are called push notifications. So if I message Lisa, it's going to show up on her phone. Some of the message apps on some cruise lines, when you do that, unless you're in the chat feature in the app, you don't know somebody messaged you.
That is very
Yeah.
true. That's
Yeah.
what I think was happening when you were looking for me when I was icing my back on the Princess
Yeah.
ship. When the
Yeah.
storm was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he couldn't find me because
Yeah.
I had no idea.
And oddly
He was-
enough, Princess is a Carnival Corporation company. I just don't understand
Yeah,
that.
but the app was completely different.
Let's keep on going.
Okay.
All right. Some entitled lady on our recent cruise went to the guest services desk to demand for compensation since the show she booked was canceled. It was only canceled because 3 of the 5 cast members got sick. Now, they rescheduled the show for a later date in the cruise at the first come, first serve. This woman was like, "We paid for an experience. You should be compensating us. It's not fair for the people who booked this months ago." I felt bad for the guest services desk. There was obviously nothing they could do since the performers got sick. This lady really wanted them to give her some kind of monetary relief since it was just so unfair. She didn't get the experience she paid for, and now the new showtime was first come, first serve. Oh my, first come, first serve.
If it's that important, you better get in the line early.
But-
People get sick. Plans change.
Weather
and
comes in,
Weather comes in.
changes
yeah,
itineraries,
Exactly. And
warships drive by and freak you out. Sail by, sorry, drive by. It's a drive by.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
it's fine. I mean, I know people can be disappointed, but
Yeah.
you got to expect
Come
that
on, y'all.
when you least expect it, expect it.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Somebody that is watching us live now, if you know the answer to the question I'm about to ask, please put it in the chat, okay? Or if you're watching the replay, please leave it in the comments. If you've booked a show, excuse me, ahead of time before the cruise, does this mean you've gotten an assigned seat? Or you just are guaranteed a seat? Because I don't know of any of the cruise lines that actually assign you a seat.
I've never heard of a
Before.
cruise line assigning seats, but I mean, I have, very frequently seen them checking your room key
Yeah.
to make sure that you are supposed to
Correct.
be in the theater at that time. But once you get in, it's still first come, first serve.
So what's so different?
Yeah.
What's so different?
Yeah.
Just show up half an hour early, get in line, and walk in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, let's move on. All right. We've seen this before. This singing and dancing from the wait staff in the dining room is terrible, and it needs to end. I don't go there for a show. It ruins my dinner. If we all come together and email Carnival, we have a good chance to get them to change. Okay. That was the original post. Here's part 2, which came a little bit later. Look, I have found a great deal on the website Fiverr. For $20, this person will send out 1,000 emails from real US Gmail accounts. I just ordered 3. We're going to get this done.
You know what? I want to know if those 3,000 people whose emails got hacked are going to contact this guy.
This guy really doesn't like the singing.
Man.
He had actually posted the email too for customer service. You can find it. It's not like it's hidden or anything, but he had posted that in his original post. We obviously deleted it. But yeah, this guy's actually gone so far as to find somebody on Fiverr. So he has spent $60 to have 3,000 emails sent to customer service. What's funny is this is a subject that comes up like, I don't know, once every couple of months, because we just talked about it a couple months ago.
It does. It comes up frequently.
And John Heel had made a comment about, look, this is called a fun ship, and we're not going to stop.
They have been doing this since day one.
Yeah.
And that's part of who they are.
Yeah.
So, if you got to know that that's who they are and that's what they're going to do. And that's not going to change.
And 99.9% of the people that responded to him were like, yeah, let them go to the buffet. All right, I got another one. I think this might be the last one. I don't know. Anyway, okay, here we go. Nothing like witnessing a grown man eat sausage from the buffet tongs and then put the tongs back in the tray. Told the worker, and they had to throw the entire tray of sausage in the garbage.
Unbelievable.
How disgusting is that?
Unbelievable. I mean, yeah. I'm speechless. I really am. I mean, people can be, and I've seen not necessarily eating from the tongs, but just when we were on Princess, they had all the beverages, out on the breakfast buffet tray, the orange juice and the cranberry juice and all. I was behind 2 people that took the juice, drank it, and set the cup back on the tray. And I looked at him and I said, that is just nasty. Put your dirty dishes someplace else. And they looked at me, and obviously they didn't speak English because they both looked at me and they looked at each other and they walked away. So I did the same thing that they did. I told the worker, hey, somebody just put their dirty glasses back on the tray.
That was Princess, right?
That was Princess.
Yeah, they probably spoke English. They just look at you like, who are you? Misentitled.
Right? No, I'm sorry.
It's just disgusting and sanitary.
Yeah, exactly.
Unsanitary, I should say.
Unsanitary, yes.
People wonder why, outbreaks and stuff happen on ships. It's talked about so much. It's almost ridiculous. People, wash your hands. It's all you got to do. That was something else that came out in the news this week, and I didn't include it in there, but, what is it? The CDC has finally, come out and talked about the norovirus and how to prevent it. Wash your hands. That's literally all they said. Wash your hands, people.
Well, that's why so many of the cruise lines have actual staff standing at the door saying, washy, washy, no washy, washy, no yummy, yummy.
I'll be honest, I haven't seen it in a while. We haven't seen it on MSC. It wasn't on Princess. And believe it or not, I don't remember seeing it on the Firenze either.
It was on Royal, definitely.
Yeah, it was on Royal
ship we were on, and I remember back in the day, NCL used to do that as well.
Oh no, it used to be on Carnival too. I mean, because so they've just sort of, I don't want to say stopped it, but maybe it's a staff thing. Speaking of staff, there's somebody recently that talked to their cabin steward on the Carnival.
The Carnival Magic.
The Carnival Magic.
Yes.
And their cabin steward had 34 cabins to clean. Now,
that's crazy.
You wonder why they only do once a day service now on Carnival. It's because they just don't have enough staff.
Yeah.
34 cabins for one cabin steward to clean. And I'm promising you, they ain't paying them more money.
Yeah.
They're like the extra tips the 34 cabins would get them.
Oh, no, I agree. Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot.
All right, so let's go back and look to see what some people are talking about here.
All right.
Oh my good Lord. Yeah, build a monorail area. Yeah, 7 Mile Bridge. Robert, live show. Nurse was like, what? 1,000? Yeah, 1,000 per person. Not $1,000, $1,000 per person. So it would have been $2,000 for the cabin, plus the port charges and taxes. Then don't forget, this is a little Margaritaville at sea kind of, I don't want to call it a secret, but secret. But then they charge you $15 per person per day once you get to the ship for a fuel supplement.
Yeah.
We can talk about that in a minute. So that comes. Then, of course, the gratuities.
Yes.
I mean, you add this all up, all of a sudden it was going to be $3,000 to go do this little 5-day cruise. That's why we said, yeah, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
That. Anyway, veterans get to sail for free, right, on the Islander. So it's a bit of a gag. The answer is yes. So, like, they're always running some kind of special. Like right now, it's 50% off and kids sail free. Okay? And this is what I've figured out over the past handful of days because we've been really digging in. So
And he's a veteran, so he checked that out.
Correct. So I'm just going to make up numbers because I don't really know what they are because I can't remember. But let's say the cabin was for the normal fee was $1,000. Let's say the normal fee was $1,000. Okay, it wasn't, but let's say it was. Then at 50% off, that means each person's paying $500. Okay, so the cabin is now just $1,000 instead of the $2,000. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so $1,000. Well, if you're a vet, she still pays the $1,000, but I get to go free. So whether it's 50% off or vets go free, it ends up the same price, right? There's no benefit there.
Correct.
What I found more interesting was this. So again, we're using that base price of $1,000. I looked to see what it was going to be for a solo person to go. Now, it looks like they charge 1.5. So you're not paying 2 berths, you're paying 1.5. However, the cabin mysteriously, same cabin, went from $1,000 to $1,500. And so the 1.5 was still $1,000. So
crazy. Yeah.
It really, it's just a gag. Anyway, Ozan says, yes, Robert is the best father. I would love him to be my second father, but the regions are different. Yes, thank you. Yes, Macrina, veterans and nurses too. Yes. How can you not sail with Mark and Rocky? It's like a tradition. I know. This is the first inaugural that they've been on. I think. Well, I don't know. Did they do the Sun? They may have done the Sun. I don't know. We've done so many with them.
Yeah, every time we're on an inaugural, we run into them.
Well, it started on the Celebration, Venezia, Firenze.
I don't think they were on Jubilee, though. I think we...
No, they were on Jubilee.
Were they on Jubilee?
Yep, and they were on the Celebrity Ascent. I mean, so, yeah.
And we're always running into them.
It is. And they're staying on for 2 cruises, so we were going to join them for the second cruise. But again, it's just not happening. Yep. Macrina says, yeah, Ship Life got a suite for $2,000. No way for 4 days. Yeah, I'm just not doing it. Just not doing it. Not happening. Oh my God, she's cold and she can speak. Mark and Rocky were great on the Islander. They got to meet the CEO of the Margaritaville. Nice. Excellent. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, we like Mark and Rocky. Yep.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
No way how friggin' arrogant, right? I like I said, some of these things, man, I read them and okay, we got to put that one in there. It's head scratchers. It's like.
It really is. I don't know what they're thinking.
I don't know. Steerage. Steerage clan for the win.
Steerage clan.
Oh my God. The omelet lady again with Pinnacle. Right? So that was a platinum. The omelet lady was a platinum. Wasn't even a diamond. It was a platinum. It was a carnival thing. Anyway. Antonio, you are all peasants. I'm platinum. How dare you talk to me? I love gammon. I don't. Gammon is British for ham. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
I knew it had to be something. I didn't know what it was.
I wasn't sure if that was a European thing or if it was a Miss what do you call it spell check.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was something like that.
Yeah. Kathy P says, I wish my life was so easygoing that the worst thing going on is the fact that I can't have actual butter. Right? It's just, it's funny. And we've mentioned this before. If you're new to the channel, first of all, you know what you got to do, right? Hit that subscribe, thumbs up, anything. So if you're new and you haven't seen us do these things, when we go on ships, we just like to act like flies in the wall, right? So we just, stay. We have mouths. We could say things, but we don't. We just want to. I'm just going to move this over there. I don't know why it's there. Anyway, we've been on a ship that ran out of ketchup. Now I like to have hash browns with breakfast every morning, and I like to have ketchup on my hash browns. It's a thing. Was I upset there was no ketchup? Absolutely. Did it ruin my experience? Absolutely not. Nothing really just affects us. We just keep on rolling with it. Why? We're on a cruise ship, on a vacation, having a fantastic time. Does it suck that might be a little this, that? Yeah, that's all right. Just go do something else, right? I don't know.
There are plenty of other options.
I don't know. Macrina says, Americans seem to be the group to complain about food. Well, let's be serious. If you spent any real time over in Europe, anywhere in Europe for that matter, which I spent a considerable amount of time, 3.5 months, touring all over Europe. And I could tell you, I mean, the food is 1,000,000% different over there. It is not remotely close. And each country varies dramatically. The biggest thing that they all have in common, generally speaking, is it's all fresh, right? Their refrigerators are tiny. And they may have 1 or 2 days worth of food in it. That's it. And so they're grocery shopping 3 and or 4 times a week.
And they've got those nice little markets that are all in the neighborhood. So it's not
amazing.
like you have to go out and buy a week's worth of stuff at once.
So it's all fresh. It's just, man,
It
it's
is.
so... We eat like kings when we're over there.
We do.
And we talk about not being foodies, but look, we like to eat. Eat 3 squares a day. It's what you do to stay alive. And so we enjoy a nice meal. And so we've had... Our best meals we've ever had have been in Europe. Truly.
Without a doubt.
Truly.
Without a doubt.
Chris H. says, I always give props to Pinnacle members. At a minimum, it took them $250,000 of their money to earn that status. 100 cruises or 15 is sweet impressive. However, Chris, there's a high volume of those Pinnacles that got there because they got free cruises because they gamble. Now, mind you, they're gambling.
Mm-hmm.
So, but most of these people that are at that level, they're lucky enough that they're actually not spending money. They're making enough and coming out about even. And so...
If you're lucky at the casino.
Yeah. So...
We are not.
However, there's that guy that bought that stinking cup off the Icon.
Right? Yeah. The
$80,000. He offered them $80,000 and they took it.
Yeah, the $100,000 cup. They discounted it for him because he asked.
Macrina's like, dance and vomit for this lady. It's not butter, it's parquet. Parquet. Butter. Parquet. Butter. He's like, just sail on Royal. Trust me, half of the stuff we see come from Royal complaints.
Yeah.
But they at least have butter. So does MSC. They had real butter.
That's true.
Princess did not. No, Princess did not. Princess had the ramekins.
They did. They had, they had cubed, so they were cutting it. They would buy big blocks.
That's true.
And cube
That's
it.
true.
So it depends on which restaurant you were in.
But it was different. I still feel they were making it, but cubing it, and then because it didn't taste like the normal salted butter that we would buy. Look, we're not butter snobs. We just buy Land O'Lakes, for gosh sakes. However, I do like a nice pretzel roll, and I put the...
we buy Aldi.
Yeah. Aldi butter. It tastes great.
Yeah.
But what's the kind that I get for the pizza bread? The pizza.
The Kerrygold.
The Kerrygold. We buy Kerrygold when I'm... pretzel rolls. I love pretzel rolls.
Yeah.
Got one left over there. I love the Kerrygold, so...
Yeah, Kerrygold's really good on the pretzels.
There in the fridge behind here. It is to make sure you have a seat. Well, that's correct. That's what we thought, right? So you do the reservations. So because there's 7,000 people on some of these ships. Because I know Royal, you do have to make reservations, but the theater only holds like 1,500 or something like that. So yes, you have to make reservations. But I didn't think the reservations gave you a seat. Like you're going to sit in row 12, seat 10 or whatever, right? It's just you're guaranteed to get in the theater, which means you're still going to have to go early if you want that down front and center kind of seat, right?
Yeah, exactly. You don't want the obstructed view.
So what's the difference? Just go and stand in line, for gosh sakes. People, I'm just telling you, who would eat from the tongs? Absolutely, that person absolutely 100% does that at home. 100% does that at home.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
But
it's at home. Who's he going to, contaminate?
Well, in your own home, that's fine if that's what you want to do, but you don't do that in a buffet line.
No.
You don't do that.
No. No. Example, at home, and Mama Tall Man will confirm this, so will everybody else that knows me.
So will Mrs. Tallman.
Ice cream. I like some ice cream. I really do. These days, I'm eating more sherbet and stuff. Very little ice cream, in fact, very rarely. But anyway, I don't scoop it and put it in a bowl and then eat it from the bowl. That's just a waste of time and dirtying a bowl. So I take a spoon and I just take the half gallon and I eat it. Now, main reason I do this is I'm the only one that eats it. Nobody else is eating from there. Just
for the most
me.
Part, yeah, for the most
but
part.
But even if it was, it'd just be her.
Yeah.
I mean, I promise you she doesn't have cooties. So, anyway. Gina's like, nasty. He must think he's home. Yeah, obviously, right?
And I say that frequently when we're out in public spaces. Do these people do this when they're at home?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's
absolutely
everywhere you go. There's, stuff that, I'm like, why? Why are you doing this?
I wonder if, mom, dad, 3 kids at home, right? And mom and or dad grab a towel, go to the sofa and lay it out on the sofa and say, don't sit here.
I was wondering where you were headed.
I wonder if that happens at home.
I don't think so.
I'm just wondering.
You know what happens? Get out of my chair. But you can do that to your family.
Macrina says, good move, Lisa. I would have done the same thing. Ew. Right?
Yeah.
At least he washed his hands. Who? Oh, thank you. Mark rant. Macrina says, on Panorama in January, there was no Purell at the entry. Interesting. I asked the maitre d' and guest services. They said the outbreak numbers are low according to the CDC, so they've removed it. Why? I use it. Yeah, you got to have there all the time.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I always seem to remember there being something there. Always.
Yeah.
Before the pandemic.
I remember, there was always hand sanitizer that you could use when you walked in.
Hey, Harlan Abrams, welcome. Howdy, folks. First time I've ever seen you. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
welcome to the Tall Man
channel.
Clan.
Yeah.
We like to have a little fun, but you know what you got to do now, right? Thumbs up, subscribe, become part of the Tall Man Clan. It is free to you, cost you nothing. And it really does help us out. And if you haven't figured out from what we do here, we need help.
Totally.
Welcome, really, truly. We're glad to be here. If you want, we have a Facebook group. I haven't put this up yet during the stream. We put different things up in the Facebook group than we do here. I'm a little bit behind. I apologize. I still have some stuff from Princess to put up there, some of the food we do. But we put different things up there on Facebook. So just make sure you answer the 2 questions. What was the first cruise you've ever been on? If you've never been on a cruise, just put never. And 2, agree to the terms of the group, which are basically no spamming and be nice to everybody. That's it. Answer those, it'll let you in. If you don't answer, it declines you. So just please do. So there you go. Anyway, welcome. We're glad to have you, Harlan. Welcome.
Absolutely.
In terms of like 34 cabins, that's nuts. If you took 15 minutes per cabin, that's 8.5 hours, right?
These guys work long, long days, and they work hard. They really do.
It's usually 8 to 10, so it's 14 hours, and they usually have a 2-hour break in the middle of the day for lunch.
Yeah.
So just do the math, right? It's in some of these cabins, I promise you can't get through in 15 minutes.
I totally agree. We've seen some of these cabins.
Sometimes these people need to be reminded that their doesn't stink. Yeah, I agree 100%. I don't think $2K for 4 days in a grand suite on a new refurbished ship is a bad deal. Maybe I'm wrong, but try renting a condo in Destin for 4 days at about $2,500. I would agree. Yeah, if I was going to pay for a suite, $2,000 for a suite for 4 days. I mean, would I spend it? I'm not sure. For suite, maybe. But like I said,
we were looking at inside
cabin
accommodations.
We were looking at steerage. We're going down into steerage.
We were below gin pop in that one.
We're down there with the gerbils running on the wheels to keep that ship running. But I do agree with you, Chris. I mean, if apples to apples, right? You know, on a 7-day cruise in a suite, you're $4,000-ish to $5,000. So, you know, $2,000 for 4 day, that's pretty good, I think. I agree. Macrina says, I agree, Robert. There are bigger problems in life to complain about. I cannot deal with chronic complainers on vacation. I know, it's, you know, gotta go. Got things to do. Love you, mean it. Ciao. Don't write us, we'll write you. Harlan says, you only eat 3 times a day on a cruise? Shame. No. I was talking about off the cruise. On the cruise? Ooh. Well, I mean, I eat like a hobbit, man. I have, what is it? Breakfast
and second breakfast.
Second breakfast. And noonsies or whatever they call it. You know,
isn't there like a 12?
Yeah, lunch,
11
brunch,
11
11sies.
Yeah.
No, honestly, we have a good breakfast. We have a big dinner. And we'll have some snacks throughout the day. The funny thing is, probably 80% of the time we don't have lunch.
No. And if we do, it's going to be something light, like a salad, maybe a burger, depending on what we've been doing. If we've, been out on an excursion and just we're hungry.
Well, half of it is, and again, if you're new to the channel and you do go and catch some of the stuff that we do on the ships, these people in chat, they can tell you, we spend an enormous amount of time videoing the ship. Most ships we go on for 7 days, we are creating 15 plus hours worth of content, somewhere in that neighborhood, which takes a lot of time to do. We do a lot of video in the middle of the night when everybody's sleeping. And so we go to bed at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. So when we get up for breakfast, we're just catching as they're removing the items at 10:30, 11 o'clock.
We're scooting in right before they turn over for a lunch.
Yeah. So a lot of days we just don't eat lunch because breakfast sort of has become lunch for us. And then dinner, we eat very, very early. We're not early eaters. Normally our dinner time is 9, 10, 11 o'clock because of the work that we normally do. But because of we stream live every night we're on the ship, just kind of like we're doing here. But we do it at 9 o'clock. And so if we're going to eat in the main dining room, we have to eat at the earliest time possible, 5 to 5:30, which means, so we have more like the pizza and different things for midnight snack.
Yeah.
That's really our dinner.
And then
stuff.
Plus when we're streaming, we generally will have,
desserts
and things to eat
pineapple
while we're
for this one.
Yeah, usually the unhealthy stuff. But,
on the ship.
So, that is kind of, we're strange.
Oh, and also says neither. I like olive oil. Oh my gosh, yeah. Right?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Put
olive oil with a little bit of this on there and dip it in there.
Salt and pepper. Yeah, that's good.
Sourdough.
Yeah.
Just dropped it on my computer.
You sure did.
Okay. Margaret is like, love me some Aldi.
Me too.
Okay, Robert, they spent even more if they got the casino offer. I promise you they lost $3,000 to $4,000 to get a free cruise or even more. No less than $250.
You'd be surprised. We know some people that their luck is amazing. They get all these offers to go on the cruise for free.
Yep.
They get spending.
They usually
cash.
get spending money.
Yeah, spending money. And they usually win
Leave some
and
money
end up
with some money.
taking money home.
And they cruise enough that the times that it doesn't happen, it's an even split. But that's them. And I'm sure everybody's not like them.
That is
and
true.
So I'll go 50-50 with you, bro.
Yeah.
I'll go 50-50 with you.
Well, they've got to have enough people that are losing money to actually bring people on the ship.
My house, my rules. Mama says, yuck, that's a no-no. She's talking about me eating ice cream out of the
Oh,
tub.
I know what she's talking about.
I didn't do that at Larry's. I just do that here. We actually, our family used to own an ice cream parlor years and years and years ago. Was my very first job. Well, no, that's not true. My very first job was a paper route. But after that, my first real job, I used to work at the ice cream parlor. So I can eat some ice cream. Yeah.
Yeah, he can.
Marina says, that's gross. People at the buffet are the ones who make the food for an office party. And we whisper, what did so-and-so make? Okay, don't eat that dip, wink, wink. And they wonder why their dish didn't go. TMI, TMI. Arlen says, pre-lunch, tea, dinner, pre-casino snack, post-casino snack.
There you go.
Yeah.
But
We get at least the 3 meals and a snack.
we do. But, we load up, too. I mean, we eat pretty healthy when we do eat.
Yeah.
So if we didn't do
Having
that...
4 appetizers and...
Yeah. So, I mean, we could, pick and have small portions all day long, but we tend to, when we're on a ship, have huge meals.
Yeah, we do. Pre-breakfast, breakfast, pre-lunch, lunch, second lunch, post-lunch, pre-dinner, dinner, post-dinner, snacks, midnight pizza, repeat!
I love it.
Something along those lines. And Harlan says, not to mention the pre-breakfast, then breakfast. Exactly, right? Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Good evening, Desiree. Welcome. Good to see you, hon. Got to spend money to make money. Can't afford to gamble. I work too hard for my money. Look, if we've tried gambling. We've talked to a lot of you that I know Harlan's new, but we are just unlucky gamblers. We've attempted it multiple times, and so we just, to your point as well, we do work hard for our money. We'd rather keep that money, spend it towards another cruise as opposed to giving to the cruise lines, because we have absolutely no chance at making it back.
The luck
Zero.
skipped us. It went from Mama Tall Man to Daughter Tall Man.
Yeah. This one,
Yeah,
no.
not
No.
us.
No, absolutely. Antonio says, if you travel with your family as a kid, does that go towards getting to Pinnacle? Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, on all the cruise lines, all the kids that are traveling with their parents, their status. I mean, we've been on many ships where the youngest Diamond, Platinum, or Diamond, Pinnacle, whatever their different classes for the cruise ships, is like a 9-year-old.
Yeah. It happens all the time.
All the time. It is crazy, 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 crazy. By the way,
Mom and Dad like to sail, and yes, got to bring the kids.
yep.
So.
Thank you all for the thumbs up.
Yes, thank you.
So we are a ways into the show, and we haven't done this. We have a group cruise going, guys, and I don't know if we should be really talking about it anyway. You can see the counter or the ticker up there. Okay, 509 days. It is, when is it? It is November 8th, 2025 on the Carnival Horizon. All right. Here, I'll play the little teaser for you guys.
Come join us November 8th, 2025.
There'll be meet and greets,
Parties,
pineapples.
ducks, and of course the live shows.
Don't miss our first ever group cruise. We'll see you on the horizon. Well, there you go, everybody. Yeah, if you want to go on the group cruise, just email me. tallmanscruiseadventures@gmail.com. Our girl actually got an extension, which does end tonight, and we didn't put anything in the Facebook group and tell everybody, but yeah, it does end tonight. But we'll be able to get rooms, I hope, again. So if you're watching the rebroadcast of this and it's past this time and you want to go on the group cruise, please just send us an email. You do have to book into the group to attend all the group functions. We're going to have a bunch of group functions, meet and greets from the live shows, all the different things that we do, some private meals and things for certain members. So join us, please. We would love to spend some time with you. Couple of things. We're not travel agents, right? We're not creating this group to make money off you guys, okay? So we have nothing to gain other than being able to spend some time with the TMC. So if you're new and didn't know that, we are not travel agents. So again, welcome. All right, let's back up. There's been a bunch more comments here.
All right. Is it still a $50 deposit for
it
that?
is through tonight.
Tonight. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Chris says, yes, Antonio. His kids are diamond. Gambling involves a little luck. You have to know the game of your choice, know it well. Always know your chances. Yeah, especially if you're going to sit down and play one of the table games, whether it's poker or blackjack or whatever it is. There's certain rules, if you will. But from sitting around and listening to the gamblers, there's also proper etiquette when you're sitting at a table with 4 or 5 other people. And I know you're there for yourself, but you have to play. I don't get it because you just anyway. When we go, we're more slots people. Go in and of course now it's just pressing buttons these days. But anyway, so Chris says he thinks the youngest pinnacle is about 7. Yeah, it's crazy.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Yep. Group cruise, woohoo! Yep. The reason I'm asking is the lady looking down on people may have done very little to get to pinnacle. That's true. Absolutely. I mean, that brings up a good point, right? Sort of. It's also why children who grew up in very wealthy families tend to be, let's say, just maybe a little bit more snotty than the rest because they've never had to do anything. Everything was literally given and or handed to them. And so typically, not always, but typically, right?
Yeah, they're not
Paris.
they're not used to having to work or struggle to get things.
Yeah.
And it does make a difference in your attitude.
Or have to wait on anybody.
Yeah.
They have people waiting on them.
Yeah.
Harlan says the Carnival Horizon is a nice ship. My late wife really liked the Carnival Vista. They are both Vista class ships. Yeah, we Horizon is actually one of the ships that we haven't been on. We've been on a ton of cruises, Harlan. We've been at this for a very long time. We used to be travel agents years ago. We had our own travel agency, but again, that's been closed now for at least a decade. So we have knowledge of the cruise industry from being on one side, but we're just paying passengers these days and have been for many, many years. And we have been on a ton of cruises and all cruise lines. We're not particular or partial to one like Chris. I'm not picking on anybody, but Chris is a Royal guy. He loves to go on Royal and mostly goes on Royal. We go on everybody, Carnival, Royal, NCL, Holland, MSC, Virgin, Celebrity, Princess. And most of what I've just mentioned, we've been on post-COVID. Most of them. We've been on Disney, Royal.
Not Disney.
Sorry, not Disney. Carnival, Royal, Princess, MSC, Celebrity, Virgin, post-COVID. Yeah. And many times. We've done, I don't know, 20 plus 9, 5, 14,
we don't keep track.
15, 16.
Look at this.
Yeah, we never do. I mean, we stop counting because it's amazing to me. A lot of people, I'm on my 27th cruise. I'm like, really?
It just the number
doesn't matter
to us. It just
like everything else. It doesn't matter. So, but I think post COVID, we've done 16 now. 16 or 17, something like that.
I couldn't even begin to tell
I just know, but last year we did 9. I remember that because it was a thing.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And we've done 5 already this year.
Okay.
So that's
14.
And then we did 2 prior. the two celebration,
Okay.
right? So that's 16.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we've been on 16 cruises post-COVID.
Hmm.
So, and hopefully we're going to add a bunch more here before the end of the year. So,
Yeah.
and no, we don't know what they are yet.
Well, our goal is to sail on all the mainstream cruise lines, and bring you a detailed look at what the ships are, and all the features and all the fun stuff.
Yeah. As we mentioned, we profile ships like no one else does, and so that is the goal, is to comprise a library of just incredibly detailed tours, walkthroughs of the ships. We don't do highlights per se. We start a walk and we do 360 degrees all the way around the ship. Anyway, moving on.
All right.
Macrina wants to know, Antonio, are you ready for the plank? Could be at sea for my birthday. Harlan, come and join us, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I promise you, she's well invested. I have too. Or I have that, excuse me. I've invested to have that. Yes. So that's why he understands.
Yeah.
Macrina says, love the Horizon. We'll sail her this summer. Again, perfect. Antonio says, I'm practicing my conga line dance for doing the sexy menu voice with Robert.
I love it.
Yeah, there was.
I forgot about the sexy menu voice. That's
yeah.
funny. And Harlan, by the way, happy birthday.
No, I think he was talking about could be at sea for my birthday. He might be talking about the group cruise. I don't know. I don't know.
That would be fun. Yeah.
My wife was a slot player. Sometimes she picked a slot machine that was about to hit. Yeah, I don't. That's our friends. The husband mainly does table games. The wife mostly slots. And
yeah.
She's a winner. This one at the slot machines.
She is.
She'd walk away with anywhere between, because we're told frequently, and I don't mean that in a rude way, guys, but 500 on this one, 1,500 on that one. I mean, they literally never lose, because at this point, again, not only are they getting the cabin for free, but they're also given, like $500 credit to play, or $1,000 or whatever it is. And that's all they play. If it's gone, they stop playing. So they're literally spending, yes, they got to pay gratuities and taxes, I think. But anyway. And they were just over.
But they win the money for the gratuities and
yes,
taxes.
they do. They do.
They just have that luck.
No,
we don't.
They did just get a one of their cruises was free, was in Greece. Sorry, they did the Greek Isles. So I mean, they did have to fly there, so they paid for the flights and stuff, and spent a couple days with our friend there, Fotis. But anyway. Alan says Carnival is a good cruise line. RCCL wouldn't go on again. NCL wouldn't go on again. Celebrity charges too much for a solo cruiser.
Yeah, and Celebrity just
started slapping them.
Yeah, they did. I want to call it a penalty. They penalize you for being a solo cruiser.
What happened on NCL that you won't go on them, if you don't mind me asking? Because as a solo passenger, that's one of the more friendly solo passenger cruise lines.
It is. We've talked to so many people, solo passengers, who love NCL because of their solo cabins and
especially the newer ships.
Parties, if you will, get-togethers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the newer ships.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we haven't been on NCL actually in a long time either.
It's on our list.
It's on our list to go on again, to try it out. But we stopped at the time. Again, this was some years ago. They had started a new promotion. They called it freestyle cruising. Again, not to date us, but probably 15 years ago when they started that promotion. And we had been going on them probably once a year. And because we usually used to take a couple cruises a year. Now we're doing way more, but we would take a couple a year. And it seemed to be that it was one Carnival and one NCL and then one Princess and one NCL. It just seemed at the time we were doing a bunch of NCL. Anyway, when they started that promotion is, to me, when the industry started to change, and it led with NCL. And they began, our favorite phrase became, there's nothing free about freestyle cruising. What they did was they dumbed down, in my opinion, it's just our opinion, the menu and the main dining. And so the main dining food went down a couple of notches because they're now doing the specialty dining. So you now have to pay for the same quality that you used to get, right? And then everything else, they literally just started nickel and diming you for everything you wanted to do on the ship. One of the shows, you had to pay to go see the shows. I mean, it was just a lot of stuff. And we're like, you know what? We're done. We're not going on NCL anymore because I just, these things should be included. The meals should be decent. I know if you want to go to a specialty restaurant, it's going to be a better quality meal. But the meals in the main dining room should still be
They should still
of
be
a
good.
certain quality.
Yeah,
right?
Agreed.
And we felt that it had gone way down. Anyway.
Now, of course, that was many years ago,
Yes,
and so they
it
are
was.
definitely on our list to
It
go back
was.
on again because we haven't been on them in so long. We need to go and
Yes.
see what they're like now.
And on the end, everybody else is nickel and diming now, too.
Yeah, that's true.
However, the things I just talked about, shows are free, right? Even on Royal with their Broadway shows, you don't have to pay for that. I mean, it's
and
right.
Royal has
Yeah,
really,
amazing
really
show.
good shows. Yeah.
So, anyway, you know what's funny? Hal is looking at you.
Oh, Hal was looking at me the other day.
You remember this was off. It turned itself back on again.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
we're done with it.
We have 2 cameras, and one of them has a mind
It
of
likes
its own.
it likes you.
It does. Look at that.
Yeah.
It does. It follows me everywhere. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah. Macrina says, just noticed Lisa had a handheld mic. Sounds good, just to let you know. Yeah, we were having problems with her headset.
Thank you.
And again, not to get too technical, there was some buzzing and humming, and I was playing around with it, and then it stopped working. I don't think it's not the microphone, it's the connection. There was something weird. So literally, we're about 3 minutes to start the show, and we pulled this mic out. It's the same mic that we use for Rocky and Mark, because we have the extra input in my little thing here, my little, my button presser here. And so she's having to do that. So we've got to figure out what to do.
Yeah, I still have the headsets because if I'm just holding the mic without the headsets, I can't hear what's going on.
Yeah. So you can hear just fine. So anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah. Helen says NCL has substandard food, substandard service. Last cruise with NCL had to call every day to put new clean towels in our restroom instead of hanging up the old towels. Last question about that. When was that, if you don't mind me asking? When was this? When did this go on in the ship, if you don't mind me asking? Harden, wouldn't NCL let you eat with tongs at the buffet?
Oh, Antonio, you are on a roll, my friend. You are on a roll.
Oh, my good Lord, everybody. Oh. You know what else we haven't done tonight?
What haven't we done?
No, that's not it.
I thought I had, didn't we capture another one? I guess I didn't put it on here yet.
Oh, I guess not.
Two more. All right, one more. Sorry. God, that's awesome.
That
God,
one is still my favorite.
That is amazing. Harlan, those are all horns we've sampled from being on or close to the ship when they're blowing them. So we didn't sneak those off anybody. Literally, we captured those. We have one of the other ones. I just don't know why it's not on there yet.
Yeah, well, we'll have to work on that.
Yep. NCL coffee we couldn't drink. Only cruise line that had the buffet closed when not serving food. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Robert, one thing I've learned in my life is that nothing is free. No, I will agree 100% with that. That is absolutely true. But you think about it, right? And this was, like I said, I believe when the industry started to change. Prior to the NCL's promotion, right? Freestyle cruising. When you go on a cruise, and this was one big thing for us, we enjoyed everything sort of included. The food's included, the entertainment's included. Yes, you got to pay for gratuities. If you're going to gamble, yes, you're going to pay for that. If you're going to go on an excursion, yes, you're going to pay for that. But you don't have to do any of that. You can get on the ship, Your cabin is a fee that you've paid. Your food's all included. The entertainment's all included. And you can have a fantastic time. And we've talked about this many, many times before. Okay? A lot of times we will just get on a ship, stay there for 7 days. Yes, we may get off in port, but we don't do excursions. We don't do specialty dining. We pay our tips, of course, and usually a little extra. But we don't pay for anything else extra. We just go and enjoy what's provided in the cost of the cruise. And so when NCL started doing all that extra charging for things, we're like, oh, whoa. And to Harlan's comments about the substandard quality, we're like, yeah, we're done. But we're going to go back, and because, it's been a long time.
It has, and we just, we're out of touch with them, and we got to get, we got to go try it out and see what they're doing these days. Things change.
Yep, and we have to get back to looking for deals on them too, because one thing that excuse me, everybody, I'm sorry. One thing that I have noticed is the cost of the cabins on NCL have gone up dramatically because they were.
Yeah, they had been very, very on par or less than Carnival.
Less or about the same.
And I've been hearing that from other people. I haven't looked at pricing, but yeah, I've heard that from other people.
Oh, Patricia wants our theme song. Oh yeah, Harlan, we have a theme song.
Yeah,
we'll play that for you in a minute. We'll play that. Disney does great horns. Disney's the best, followed only by Princess for Sake. Yeah, we were on the Emerald Princess, and they didn't have that. So,
they didn't. We were so disappointed.
We understood that's what that was.
Yeah.
It had to be in the early 2000s with MCL. Does it? Same with us.
Yes.
It was a little bit later than that. Probably 2005, 6, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna go 8, maybe.
Okay, we'll go back and look, but
7 or 8.
Yeah.
7.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Alyssa she was probably about 7.
They should play the Disney horns while you're walking that half-mile bridge. I bet by the end you want to break those horns. Yeah, just like the foghorn on the Venezia every 3 minutes.
Wait a minute. They got to play It's a Small World the whole half a mile.
All right.
It's not. It's a half a mile.
They want the theme song. So let's, you know what? I wonder if, because it's so much nicer with a highlight.
Ooh, let's see if we have some old highlights we can show.
I don't know.
You got to have some in there somewhere.
I don't know. Let me take a peek.
All right.
Because normally I delete them. So let's see what this is.
Okay.
Nope.
Deleted.
Yep. Yeah, so it's gone. Give me a second, guys. I'm just looking backstage. Oh, here we go. Let's try this. Nope.
Deleted.
Yep.
I'm surprised that the title's still there since it's been deleted.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. All right, we'll just play it.
Okay.
No, I don't want to do that because it's just so much nicer.
You can at least put balcony cam on.
Just give me a minute. Just give me a second, guys. I'll fix this. I promise. That's what I do. I'm a fixer. I just got to find it. I got to find a highlight. Wasn't there a highlight right here? Yeah, there was a highlight right here. Okay.
Nope. No. Video not found.
Well, I just got to go find it.
Okay.
Give me a second, guys. Lisa, talk to these nice people.
I just put pineapple in my mouth.
Yeah, it's okay. Talk to these people. Talk with your mouth full.
I'm sure they really want to hear me chewing.
Yeah, it's all right. Highlights. Day 10.
All right.
Better than to roll the dice.
Well, there you go. Our theme song, it was a short one.
That was a short one.
And Donna's like, don't distract Robert with the ice cream. Like a deer in headlights. Ice cream?
And that'll distract him quickly, trust me.
Helen says, I can get a decent deal on any Carnival Corp-owned cruise line. Yeah, I don't know. We're, because of our lifestyle and what we do and all this stuff, it is sometimes very, very hard for us to plan off into the too far future. And so a lot of cruises, we've always booked what I would call last minute, maybe within a couple of months. These days, right now, again, no casino money, none of this stuff, just going, booking through our travel partner that we have always used. It's hard to find deals on Carnival right now. I mean, their ships, even 2005 is 85% sold out already the entire year.
It's crazy how
right?
much, yeah.
And when ships are selling that much, the price goes up. It's a supply and demand thing. That's why the Margaritaville Islander is $1,000, because all of a sudden the people that were on there for the first couple days, like the travel agents and things that started putting out the information before the inaugural. Oh my gosh, it's amazing! It looks great. Blah 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 blah. And all of a sudden, boom, huge booking. Oh, supply and demand. Same reason why Royal's pricing is so high, supply and demand. Carnival, same thing. Their cabins are going up. Now, if you look off into the far future, I can find deals, but I can't. We want to go somewhere. Tomorrow. Obviously, I can't book for tomorrow, but like 3 or 4 days from now, there's not a lot of deals there.
Yeah.
MSC, there's always a deal on MSC. Seems these days. So. Yeah, one of the reasons why we enjoy them, not just because of the deals, but we enjoy MSC ships.
Yeah,
So,
we really do.
I'm backing up to see.
You've already seen that.
Yeah, I did. Disney does. I missed this one. Sorry. Disney is best followed only by Princess for second. Yeah, we had a good time on Princess. I want to try one of their new ships. We were on the Airborne Princess. Thing's nearly 20 years old, which is interesting because it's been like 14 years since we've been on it. Actually, the ship was 17 years old. So the ship was brand new. And so we got a very deja vu. I did a very deja vu feeling because we just got off a 10-day, because that's exactly how Princess was when we stopped cruising on them.
Exactly.
We didn't stop cruising on them for any other reason. In fact, post-COVID, one of our favorite cruise lines. The itineraries they had available when we had availability didn't work. So we went quite a long time without going on them. And so we want to try one of their brand new ships, whether it's the Sun Princess or something else, to see how much they've come forward.
Plus, we want to sample that horn.
Yes, plus I want to sample that horn. Had to be in the early okay, awesome. I'm just getting back. I missed one, so that's why I'm going back. There we go. There is something special, Antonio, about Disney. If you know, you know. People will pay a premium for that half-mile walk and go back for more. And actually,
that's true.
That's like the game or whatever you want to call it they do on Carnival called Carnival Quest. You know if you know. And that's all I can say about that. And he's like, oh, I know Disney special. I wouldn't mind the walk. Yeah, I wouldn't mind the walk either. It was more shocking because it's a private island. I mean, they built that. And so since they built that, knowing it's a half mile, you think they might have a tram or something more than a couple of golf carts.
Something more Disney-esque.
Yeah.
Than a walk.
Oh, it's like, time to get some ice cream. Hey, I'm with you, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to walk that bridge in October and November. Ooh, nice. See, you didn't sign up for the group cruise. You're going to walk the plank, too. Don't distract Robert with ice cream. Squirrel!
Deer and headlights.
Squirrel! Don't forget the Horizon Cherry on top has ice cream sundae bar. Yeah, I'm not going to forget anything.
Yeah.
Bonaire has wonderful gelato place. Yum, trust me, we can all go. Oh, man, that's what we do. We get off and go.
Maybe.
The group cruise. Going to the ABCs. Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, by the way. I never said that. Antonio's like, never been to Bonaire. Well, you're going to be going in 509 days, 18 hours, 35 minutes, 38, 37, 36, 35 seconds. Hey, the Z Show Cruise Fun. Hey, welcome, guys. Happy Father's Day. We appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Happy Father's Day.
Welcome to the show. Love Bonaire. MSC is one fire hazard waiting to happen. They don't enforce their smoke policy. Their food, they bring you in the MDR that is supposed to be hot is cold. Customer service stinks. So, Harlan, interestingly enough, I'll tell you this. In the past 7-ish months, 7, maybe 8 months, we've been on 5 different MSC cruises. The MSC Seashore, MSC Seaside, and MSC Seascape. See a pattern here? The sea ships. They are relatively new. And I can tell you everything you just said in that comment, 100% wrong, at least on those 3 ships. Service was phenomenal. Food was phenomenal. And yes, they're enforcing the smoking policy. I will say this, though. They are very smoker friendly. They're a European line, so they do have a lot more smoking areas than most other ships, but they are enforcing it. I would add just a couple things. I did notice a couple people with vapes that weren't necessarily in the smoking area with the vape, but nobody else. And as I said, we spend a lot of time in the public areas doing what we do. And so that has not been our experience at all with MSC. Now, again, they haven't paid us to say this. In fact, none of the cruise lines pays us anything or gives us nothing.
So you're going to get our honest opinion.
We've never been comped Wi-Fi. I mean, literally nothing. Every penny has come out of our pockets for all these videos and things that you see us doing these cruise ships. And so if we tell you we're having a good time, it's because we're having a good time. If we tell you it sucks, it's because it sucks.
Yeah. And these were our first time sailing on MSC. We had heard all the bad things.
Yes.
And decided we wanted to go check it out for ourselves. Like we were talking about in NCL, we want to go back on NCL as well because things change.
Things change.
And, you know, have they learned anything? Have they made corrections and changes?
Yes.
And in our opinion, MSC has come a long way. And I think that they're coming on strong. They really are. And I think that they've come a long way, and I don't see any signs of stopping.
No.
Every time we go, I think I'm seeing improvements.
Exactly. So I'll also add this. Your opinion is great. I'm not saying, I'm just talking about the experience we had.
Yes.
And that the comments that you have just made in chat are 100% wrong based upon the experience we just had. Doesn't mean they weren't your experience.
Correct.
Now, to Lisa's point, with a little more description, MSC, born and raised, in Europe. It's a European cruise line. Europeans have a different standard and a different way of cruising. They really do. It is not like we do it here at all whatsoever. So you take a cruise line that has been 100% respectfully European and bring one of the ships over with the food they serve, with the way they serve it, and the people and how they interact, and we're not going to have a good time.
Very true.
And I think that is what has originally happened. Mm-hmm. They first started really coming over here more in droves, if you will, that it's like, well, let's try it out. Ooh, bad experience. Well, they're learning, and I think they have figured out some things. So on the ships that we've seen that are here full time, again, Seashore, Seascape, Seaside.
We could recommend those.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, have been on any of their older ships. We got, what else is here? The Meraviglia is here. The Magnifica is here. The World America is coming next April. We, of course, are going to try to get on it. But we've only been on the sea ships. SEA, not C. Or whatever. You guys are married, so I think it's whatever.
I was wondering what you were doing.
Yeah. So, I would highly recommend trying one of the sea ships. Just absolutely loved it. Yeah. Absolutely loved it. Anyway, going back. Macrina says Disney is more expensive because they have no casino revenue. Nope, you're absolutely correct.
That is very true.
I love Curacao. The bridge, that bridge is crazy. We've been on it when it wiggles and moves and stuff. It's kind of it's fun.
It's fun.
Freaks you out when it opens when you're on it. I know it does, but it's kind of cool. Wonder if the Horizon has the gelato station. I don't think so. I think it's just the ice cream bar. Karina or Antonio, yeah, but it's cool. Just plan ahead, not to get stuck on the bridge 30 minutes before your board time. Yeah,
True.
go early in the day.
True. Good point, Macrina.
Back with ice cream and fruit on top.
Yeah.
Yep. Horizon does have. Oh, they do. Okay, it's in the Lido buffet. Thanks, Macrina.
Ah.
Sweet.
Yes.
Yep. There you go. So, yeah. We feel the same thing about a lot of lines. You hear good things and bad things. It's also why we wanted to go on Margaritaville at Sea, because we know the Paradise has been out there, and it's 2 and 3 day cruises. It's just a booze cruise, right? It's a very, very, very old ship, and it is just a big party drunk fest, is what it is, and that's everybody's reported that. I'm not saying anything anyone hasn't already said. We just haven't experienced that yet. But with the Margarita, with the new one, the Islander, they're now doing 4 and 5 day cruises. By the end of this year, they're going to be jumping into some 7 day cruises. They're making some big leaps. This particular ship, to me, and not that the Paradise isn't a real ship, but this is their real ship. The Paradise is so old, it's so dated. That's why it's just a party ship. Where the Islander, from the videos that we've seen, looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think they're taking
really
some big
does.
steps as well.
And so, another potential, contender here.
Yes.
So anyway, but Bon Air Gelato is amazing right off the pier. Yeah, great. Look, we're going to make a list of places to go. So just keep on writing them down.
Yeah.
By the way, Harlan, I hope that made sense to you. Wasn't trying to take away from your particular experience. No different than anybody else that has had complaints. Some of our dear friends, I don't know, a year or so now ago, they were actually up in the yacht club and they got food poisoning at the restaurant up there. And so there's always things that can happen. But from the five experiences we've had, 5 different experiences at different times. Fantastic, really.
Yeah, we've had great food, great service, just really good time.
Yeah, the Islander was a Costa ship. Yeah, you are actually absolutely correct. Yep, built in 1998, 1999, something like that. So I forget the actual times. I had looked it up at one point, but it's gone. So yeah, it was a Costa ship. It's funny how many the ship that we talked about during the news in the headlines. That's now called the Goddess of the Seas. It was originally the Costa Magica. It's been sold a couple times now and is now quarantined.
Yeah,
Sewer
needs some
issues,
help.
plumbing issues, flooding, sanitary. It's a mess. It's absolutely a mess. So, Nurse Tara says, I hope Disney invests in putting covers on the food in the buffet. Did you see the flies all over the food on Ben and David's video? Yuck. No, I did not.
Oh, no, I didn't.
No.
I didn't see that.
Yep.
Oh.
Are you talking about at the private island? Is that what you're talking about? I'm assuming that's what you're talking about.
I saw the first part about the covers, and I thought you were talking about putting an awning or something to cover
Over the bridge.
half-mile bridge.
That would be nice, at least.
Yeah.
It's hot in the Bahamas.
It is, and you can get sunburn in a half a mile.
Yeah.
Easily.
We're getting off the ship. Okay, wait a minute. We're going to put the sunscreen on now.
Yeah, bring your
'cause it's
comfortable shoes and put your sunscreen
half mile.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. Bring your electric bike.
I don't think they would allow those.
Have been banned from cruise ships, electric bikes? I don't know.
I don't know. Has anybody actually tried to bring one of those? I know they ban all kinds
know.
of things.
Just don't try to bring on them gummies. Yes. Okay. Yeah. The private island. Yeah. It's maybe their day's premature. I don't know of getting it open. I'm sure by health standards they gotta put something on there. But like even the sneeze guards. There's so many people that go through a buffet they can't put a cover over the food because the cover would never be on. It's So they got to do something better about the flies then. They said Ben and David did not care for their Queen Mary sailing. I promise you, Nurse Tara, Disney will figure it out. Yes, they will. It's one thing Disney does is they figure it out.
Yes, they do.
Back to Ben and David. Yeah, I'll be honest. I haven't watched one of their videos since before we went on our series of cruises. We were back and I told you we're back to work now. So we're very focused on what we got to do to get back to work and what we need to do for this channel. So I haven't kept up with everybody. I've watched a few videos, but I haven't caught any of theirs recently. So I apologize. So anyway, they better if you're paying all that money. It's all right. We understand between your and your. It's text. We're in chat. It's all good.
We get it.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't. I think, and correct me for anyone who's been on it, but I feel that the Queen Mary or Cunard in general is an acquired taste. That sort of level of cruising, right? It's definitely, premium. So I feel it's in between premium and luxury, right? It may even be on the luxury side, but anyway, it's, a back in time kind of cruise line. Dressing, 3:00 tea, different classes, steerage.
Oddly enough, I had read a review not too long ago that they are having some of the same issues that people are bringing up with the other mainstream cruise lines, like people wearing shorts in the dining room and things like that. And that truly surprised me. It really did, because I had always thought, like you were mentioning, that Cunard is, you dress for dinner and things like that, old school. But I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to try and put that on our list too to experience, because I mean that review that I read, it actually did surprise me.
Yeah. So I mean, I think overall, whether you're European or American or wherever you are, the cruise industry, I guess now we're gonna have to throw Cunard in there. I didn't know that, but as a whole, has changed. You don't have to put on a tie and a jacket to go in the dining room anymore. You just don't.
Exactly.
I don't want to see you in shorts and a ball cap. That shouldn't be. So I would be honestly incredibly shocked if on Cunard I saw somebody in shorts. I mean, truly shocked, because I believe that was like one of the last, I don't want to call it a holdout, but old school traditional way of cruising, right? Dressing for dinner, right?
Yeah, I mean, I that's what I would have thought, especially since just coming off Princess and how many people dressed on Princess. I just had that feeling that Cunard, you would still dress on Cunard. I don't know.
Yeah.
Things we got to explore and find out for ourselves, I
Yep.
guess.
Yeah, we thought about doing the Queen Mary, Queen Anne inaugural.
Yeah, the Queen Anne.
Oh, anyway. Going back. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm just eating some of this amazing sourdough. It says that was a soft opening for the island. Yeah, I love the term soft opening. Look, it's open. I'm not picking on you. It's not your thing. It's an entertainment thing. It's the same thing with shows. They have soft openings. It's to work the kinks out. So
it's an inaugural.
Yeah, it is. It's no different than inaugural cruises. All of us that take inaugural cruises, we are the guinea pigs for the cruise line, because it is the very first time they have fired everything up with a full ship. That's why elevators aren't working, and burners aren't working in the buffet, and doors aren't good,
and some of the fire extinguishers drip.
Yeah,
on the fire on the suppression systems.
On the Celebrity Ascent, our fire suppression system in our cabin was dripping, so they came in and it was like NASCAR. Okay, you're good. I'm like, geez, that was funny.
Yeah,
we're done.
So totally, yeah.
Yeah. So That's what they do. They're gonna open it. It's open. They call it a soft opening. It's open, and then they see what happens.
But things still need to be tweaked.
And then they learn.
Yes,
because you just don't know until you throw a bunch of people at it what's going to work and what's not.
Exactly.
I think they're going to get some more golf carts at the very least, or a tram.
I would hope so, because a half a mile is a long way for a lot of people.
And Macrina says, yeah, Ben and David expected luxury, but they did not get what they expected. Look at their cheese plate, which had Kraft and goes on. Oh, yeah, well, what?
Oh, man.
We'll give it a watch.
Yeah.
Queen Mary 2 had Crocs in the main dining room, according to, oh, yeah, see, that. Like I said, I would be shocked.
Yeah, that's...
Chris says, but Coco Cay is hard to beat, Nurse Terry. Yeah, I would agree with that. We haven't been to Coco Cay, but we've seen the videos and we've seen it. It's a water park. It's its own small little theme park.
It's a great day in Coco Cay.
It's a great day in Coco Cay. But like anything else, it's just another place for the cruise line to suck out more of your money. Because it's you're going to pay for all those things.
Yeah.
Craft singles. Yeah, I understood what you meant. Harlan says, did like the tea time on Cunard. Nice. They also had a good planetarium show. Ooh, awesome.
Nice.
You still have to wear a jacket to walk into the main dining room. Interesting. So there you go with your Cunard experience, which is the same thing with like the MSC experience you just had. And Ben and David, 180 degrees opposite. Somebody's in there wearing Crocs and stuff. That's a far cry from, a jacket and a tie.
Yeah.
And the same thing with our experience on MSC. We had a fantastic time. So it's interesting how that can be. Now, I will say this. Back to MSC real quick. We had just recently, within the past month, finished a back-to-back on the Seascape. And the first cruise was a Western. It did Cozumel, Grand Cayman, and whatever. Okay, it's when Lisa actually got sick. So I did most of that sort of by myself because she was just sick in the cabin.
He did.
So this was, I would say, a 90 to 95% European crowd on the ship, the passengers.
Heavily European.
I would go nearly an entire day without hearing somebody speak English. And it was usually somebody who was speaking a different language who just started to speak English. I'm not talking about Spanish. These are all overseas people from Italy and just Europe.
Germany,
right.
Russia.
All over.
Yeah.
Right? I wouldn't say Russia, but people that speak the language that would sound Russian to us.
Yeah.
Like they could have been from Ukraine or Romania. I mean, that language to our ears is very, very similar.
Yeah.
Anyway, point is, that particular cruise, 95% European. The next cruise was doing Eastern and going to Puerto Rico.
Yes.
That one was 95% American, mostly Hispanic, South Florida, if you will, because they're going to Puerto Rico. And when we were in Puerto Rico, we were there until like 10 o'clock at night or something like that.
And a lot of people were late coming back to the ship.
Empty. That ship was empty that day.
Yeah. And a lot of people were late coming back.
So from us, 2 cruises back to back, had 2 incredibly different experiences on each of those 7-day voyages. In the end, they were both great voyages. Yeah. It was really weird to have 2 like unbelievably different crowds.
Yes.
And how they all move differently on the ship. I'll give you an example. The first cruise with all the Europeans, back of deck 8, was it?
Yes.
That area packed. I mean, you couldn't move back there. On every other MSC ship we've been on, to include the second part of the back-to-back, the second cruise, there's like almost nobody on the back of deck 8. It is like the quiet little place to go hang out, and there's a pool and hot tubs back there. It's a great place. But when the Europeans were on there, that place was packed. I mean, you could barely walk through. It was insane. So I just find it interesting. And so that is something to also consider, going on a cruise, that sometimes the people that are on can affect the feeling of the experience.
Absolutely. Right? And I'm thinking back when we were on the Celebrity Ascent, we did a kitchen tour. and they were talking about how they cater toward the demographics of a particular itinerary. Like, for instance, they were saying, okay, well, this is going to be heavily Hispanic, so we ordered, twice the amount of avocados that we would normally order because they typically like avocados. And so and we noticed that too on the back-to-back, that the food selections had changed.
Yeah.
From heavily European type foods to heavily Hispanic type foods. So interesting how that happens, but I guess they're definitely trying to cater to whoever is on the ship.
On the ship.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
All right. Let's back up here. Macrina says they enjoyed the Queen Anne, not the QM2. Okay. My bad. I read Queen Mary the first time, but was thinking Queen Anne. That's what I was thinking. Maybe some people's noses are so far facing the sun they didn't notice the flies. Maybe. I don't know. Antonio says. Hang on. Oh, that's not what I meant to do.
May the force be with you.
Yes. What I meant to do is that. Thank you for the thumbs up.
Thank you.
I hadn't changed my buttons. Antonio says we could be like one-on-one, wear a swimsuit with no underwear to steakhouse. Yeah, I don't think so.
No, let's not do that.
No. Not on our group cruise, at least. I don't know these people. They're not with us anymore. The island looked absolutely beautiful, though. I'm sure it did. We literally, as I mentioned, just like watching Ben and David stuff, I haven't had a moment to watch any of that stuff yet. Yeah, we're literally getting ready to be on the road for the next 4 months. So, you're tidying things up. So, anyway, and this home of ours, Harlan, we full-time RV. We're sitting in an RV right now. If you didn't notice, I got up and got a paper towel. That was from the kitchen. The bathroom and the bedroom would just be on there, and we got bunks back here, and so we full-time RV. So we're getting ready to move the house.
Yeah,
first
we've
time
been
in
very
a while.
busy trying to put things in order and finding places to put them so we can actually drive down the road and not break everything.
We really haven't moved this very much since we bought it.
No,
we drove it home,
haven't. Yeah.
and then we brought it to Tampa.
Yep.
We brought it to North Carolina. I think
Did we
that's
bring
it.
this to North Carolina?
Yeah.
We did?
Yeah. Concord.
I totally don't remember that.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I don't remember it.
And that's really it, because we just drove the truck and stayed in a hotel when we were up in Buffalo because it was too cold for.
That's true. I do
right?
remember that.
So,
yeah.
So this is the first big trip for the RV on the month on the road for 4 months, up through to Virginia, Pennsylvania, Ohio. We may change the route a little bit. I don't know. Maybe we used to have to go out to South Dakota, but I think we're not going to do that because it's just so far to go to turn around and literally come right back to Ohio. Tennessee, but Arizona is our final stop of the year. So we're going to put some miles on here. Anyway, so we got some drives coming up, everybody.
Yes,
so
we do.
Those who like our drive videos, our adventures. Okay. Beaches were stunning. I'm sure they were. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There are some golf carts there now. I don't know how many. I don't know how many they seat. But the ship holds a lot of people. I promise you they don't have that many golf carts. It just was more of a... When I saw that, I'm like, what? Did they really put that out a half a mile from land? It's crazy. And not have a vehicle with higher capacity than a golf cart. Remember when he said that? I don't know. What did I say? I don't know. Elevators don't matter to me. I'll take the stairs. Used to get the elevators from my wife. Yeah, when we're doing our tours of the ship, it's all stairs for us. But if we're on deck 5 and we got to go up to 15 or 14, whatever the Lido is, we'll take the elevator for this.
I definitely will take the elevator. I'd have to stop 10 times.
Well said, Robert. I'm not sure exactly what we were talking about then, but thank you, Chris. That's the one thing I know. There's not much of a delay, but there's still a delay, especially trying to get to all the comments. So I sometimes forget some of the things like that. I'm sorry. The mad cow. Yes, I still can get that picture out of my head. Miss his banter too.
Yeah, it's not
when we
ringing
were
a
on
bell.
Cunard, met a group from Germany. I think we were talking about the difference of the people on the ship. At the
Okay,
time, right?
gotcha.
You know, from cruise to cruise. I mean, we're on the same ship with the same crew.
Yeah.
Right? 14 days, a 7-day and a 7-day, and the first cruise was this way, and the second cruise was that way. Two completely different experiences from the temperament of the people. I mean, it was really.
Yeah.
It was like, wow. Oh, thank you very
thank
much.
you.
Yeah, well, let me see here. There we go.
No Star Wars this time.
Harlan says, when we were on Cunard, we met a group from Germany. Oh, nice. Yeah, speaking of, I hung out with a whole group of people from Ireland on the first cruise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were a lot of
If
fun.
you're watching, oh my gosh, what was her name now? I can't believe I forget her name. It was a really unique name, and I never got it wrong on the ship. She's like, I'll tell you my name, and I can't do an Irish accent. I'm sorry. Heavy Irish accent. She said, I'll tell you your name, but you'll never remember it. And she told it, and I remembered it every day. But, of course, now I can't remember it.
Oh, I don't remember it either. I only met her a couple of times.
Yeah,
but they
you were
a
in
lot of
bed the
fun.
whole time.
I was.
Loser.
Yeah.
Durstare says, when our Cunard compares to Oceania, both luxury cruises, right? Oceania seems to be very laid back, though. Yeah, if I had to compare the two, again, it only from our travel agent days. Cunard is going to be a lot more British, right? Like, typically, if you would, into our opinions, and not to take that from Ben and David, but from what we've seen typically, old school British tea time at 3, 3 different classes, that kind of thing. Oceania is going to be a lot more, I hate using the term yuppie these days because there's, that's dating, but a lot more relaxed, a lot more, God, open. Do you want to describe that a little better than me?
I'm struggling for that myself. Oceania is adults. Well,
Yeah, adults only, no kids.
Well, they're not strictly adults only. However, they discourage bringing children.
They don't want you.
They don't want you to bring kids, but they don't tell you that you can't bring your kids, but they tell you there's no activities. Kids are not allowed in the swimming pool. There's nothing for kids, so you almost have to have a nanny if you're going to bring your kids on Oceania.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very.
It's almost like how to describe, how is Virgin different from other, cruise ships. Every cruise line has a feel, right? It's all a little different.
They do.
Look, Cunard has a very rich British history. The cruise line's very British. I don't know how else to say that, right? It's just very British. Oceania is not a British cruise line. And so it's not going to be, not that Cunard is, but it's not going to be that tight upper lip English ship. And again, I don't mean that in a derogatory kind of way, just in a trying to explain the difference, right?
True, but it's
still white glove, 5-star service.
Oceania's going to be a cruise line with mostly adults and with a more mature attitude. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm having a really hard time pulling words.
No. Hey, Danny Mac, first-time watcher. Glad you found the channel.
Danny Mac!
Thumbs up.
Hey, how you doing there?
We've been, buddy. We've missed you.
Yeah, we have.
Hope all is well. Happy Father's Day, Danny.
Yes, happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to all those out there who are watching who haven't heard me say that yet.
Yes, absolutely.
And Chris says, a perfect day at Cocote. The pool alone is awesome. DJ playing music, swim up to the bar, heated and chilled pools. Awesome. That is one knock on Disney. No pool at Lookout. Really? No pool?
Oh,
wow.
Interesting.
That's kind of shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one thing about the pool area that I like. What was it? Tano Bay?
Tano Bay.
Yeah, with the little lazy river and stuff, that area there. It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
McCready's like, Danny Mac, welcome. Did you hear TMNC has a group cruise? Tell your boss, Danny. You need some time off. Welcome to the channel, Mr. Danny Mac. Danny, in your stead, Antonio C. has been holding down the fort.
Yes, he has been. Oh my goodness. You
Group
got some
cruise.
competition.
Really? Maybe I can get some info. Oh, you'd like some info? Here. Okay, we're not going to play that whole thing because he already knows. He's just messing with everybody, and you guys have already seen that teaser already, so. Hi, I'm looking forward to visiting Perfect Day for the first time in October. Very excited, yes. Yeah, there's so many things. Oddly enough, as many times as we've done Caribbean and Bahamas, I mean, dozens and dozens and dozens of time. We've actually never been to Perfect Day at Coco Cay. Of course, it's relatively new, right? So, and the 3 Royal Caribbean ships we've been on post-COVID, not one of them went there, which is, well, of course, one of them was transatlantic, so you got to take that off.
We've never been to any of the Princess private islands.
No, we've been once, years ago. I mean,
I
yeah.
don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. The only one that I remember is MSC, the Ocean Key. That's the only one that I remember.
No, we've been to Princess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it because I don't remember.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I mean, ooh, excuse me, pineapple. The only private islands we have not been to. Perfect Day at Coco Cay, because again, it's brand new. Disney just opened. That's brand new. And now that I'm MSC, we've done that here in the Caribbean, in the Bahamas, if you will. That's it. We've touched all the rest of them, from Carnival and Princess, and because look, it's Carnival and it's Royal. I mean, that's it. And now, of course, MSC, they have their own little thing, but everybody else, well, I guess Disney too. So I guess it's just those 4, because Carnival Corporation, they're feeding Princess and they're feeding, Holland, and they're feeding, Costa when they come here because it's Carnival Corporation. Now, anyway, thought you were looking at me like you wanted to say something.
No.
Okay. Chris is like, Celebrity's awesome. Not a complete older crowd. I mean, retired, but older professionals, good crowd. So yeah, we
Professionals, that's a good word.
Professionals.
Yeah.
It's a good word for you, Oceania.
Yeah, it is.
Oddly enough, Chris, we've yet to experience what I would call a normal celebrity cruise. We've been on 2. The first one was New Year's Eve.
Yes.
And it was like a carnival cruise. It was
There
so
were so
weird.
many kids. It was crazy.
It wasn't like 1,200 kids or something. It was crazy.
There were a lot of kids.
It was insane.
Yeah, and we were not expecting that.
No. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it's not that we don't like kids. It's just, again, a
You
ship
go on
filled
the-
with kids, it's going to give you a different experience. It just is.
Yeah, and you go on Celebrity and you're not expecting, 1,200 kids.
Yeah. It may have been 1,600. I mean, it was a lot.
Yeah.
No. We'll have to go back and look. Anyway, it was a lot. And then the only other one we've actually been on is the Celebrity Ascent, and we were on the inaugurals. Now, inaugurals on ships are also completely different because it's there's typically a lot of executives there from the cruise line that are on the ship. There's media and press that, even though they have their own time, there's still a lot of media and press that take the inaugurals. There's also a lot of the higher loyalty program people, like the Pinnacles and the Diamonds and stuff that are on these ships. And so what I'm trying to get at is it's filled with people that you wouldn't normally all have on the ship at one time.
Agreed. It's a different mix.
Correct. Again, the perfect example is we did the Carnival Celebration on the inaugural. We took it, and man, it was a great time. It was relaxed. It was a great vibe, and it was great. Then we went on it one week later. So we took it, we got off of it for 7 days, and then we got right back on. Again, completely different crowd, whole different vibe, whole different feel. Not a bad feel, just whoa, what's different here? We're like, it's the people. And so we just had to navigate a little bit differently. It was just a little different. And so we've not been on a Celebrity outside of that New Year's Eve and the inaugural.
That is true.
We may not know what a real celebrity cruise is like yet.
That is true.
We're going to have to fix that.
Yeah. See, we've got a lot of stuff we got to
Yep.
get done
Oh,
here.
drive cam. Night lights. Yep. Chris wants to know what ship, Nurse Tara. Kathy P. TMC and This Cruise Life AZ Meetup. Count me in, right? Yeah, hopefully we'll get to see them when we're in Arizona. We'll see. I mean, geez, they're on ships like all but nonstop.
Yeah, they
So
are.
I don't know. So we'll try to set it up. I think you're trying to say Oceania is like a country club vibe. Yeah, there you go. Maybe. Yeah, but
Kind of, but not quite. But
yeah,
again,
I don't know.
I like the word professionals.
Yeah.
I like the word professionals. Yeah.
Say. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, professional.
Yeah. I never thought I'd have so much trouble describing.
We got to work on our adjectives.
We do.
We're running out of them. Yeah,
Nothing like drawing blanks.
like, business owners and entrepreneurs. It just,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah, it's professional.
yeah. I don't know. Now, of course, it also being a luxury cruise, there's going to be a fair amount of retirees, certain age group, right? Because they're doing a lot of longer cruises, and they're a little bit more expensive, right? Being luxury, so it's going to attract a certain crowd, right? It's a different vibe. Cunard is, even though that's why I call it an upper premium, not a luxury. They cater to all ages, kids and if not, kids and up, and it's uniquely British, right? Just go watch Titanic. Cunard! That's what I think, right? Maybe not as stiff, but Oceania's much more,
But they're the upper premium as well.
you're wearing your loafers with no socks and shorts and in a button down short sleeve shirt with the buttons almost open, drinking your cocktail at the pool.
Yeah.
That's just I don't know. Does that make sense? I don't. God, we're gonna stop asking.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Got a headache now. Oh God, it hurts. Busy. Yes, I know you are, buddy. I hope you've been well.
Yeah.
I hope it's an Oasis class, Nurse Tara. It's a game changer if you go on one. It'll be hard to sail on smaller ships if you go on one. Yeah, that's your opinion, sir. Yes, we're going on the Symphony. We've been on the Symphony.
Yeah.
You can get a bunch of videos coming out on that. Yeah, watch.
Yeah.
Or we already have a bunch of videos that we've done on them.
Yeah.
Symphony's awesome. You will not be disappointed. And we enjoyed the Symphony, Chris. Yeah.
Mhm.
It will be our first big ship. But we've only started cruising since last May. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Ah,
Yep.
very nice.
Most small ships out of Baltimore and Celebrity is out of Bayonne. There you go. Ohio to Arizona. Looks like a trip through Missouri. Maybe. No, we have to go to Tennessee, I think. I don't. It's still coming together. It's
still fluid.
we're making some changes.
Yeah.
This year, to our fall route. As I mentioned, it used to be Virginia, Pennsylvania, then all the way to South Dakota, 1,800 miles-ish or something like that. Then right back to Ohio, right driving the same route all the way back to Ohio. Then Tennessee. Yeah, and then
And
Arizona.
then Arizona.
So it's like this crazy thing.
Yeah.
So we're trying to we're trying to get
not
rid
to
of
do
this.
the zigzag.
Yeah. So up here and then work our way back. So
Yeah.
still a long trip, but yeah.
Yep. Definitely.
Antonio says, I found once you go on larger ships, it's harder to go back to the smaller ships. Yeah. Everybody, just like cruise lines, everybody finds their ship class they enjoy. We have found for our style of how we like to cruise. We have found it very comfortable on Carnival's XL class ships. And I'm not necessarily saying Carnival, but that ship, that size, about 180,000 tons. The way that it's designed, laid out, it's just very comfortable to us. On the Symphony, we felt a little out, a little off.
I felt more comfortable on the Mariner of the Seas than I did on the Symphony.
Yeah, on the Symphony, on the Oasis class. Yeah.
Yeah.
For us, again, in our personal, how we like to cruise, it just seemed to be a little big. Again, didn't mean we didn't have a great time. We had a fantastic
we had a blast.
time. We had a blast. It just was like, whoa. So like anything else, it could also be, because it was our first big ship, it may take for us another one time, or maybe 2 times, if you will, to go on the bigger ships to
navigate
fully
it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
To me, it's just, I don't like it because their pizza's horrible. God. How you Royal Cruise people love their pizza, I just don't know.
Horrible. Yeah. I took one bite and I couldn't eat anymore.
I'm kidding, but I'm not. Yeah, we don't like their pizza.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, Chris says, celebrity is older professionals who still like to dress well. Yeah, I could go there. Yeah. And that would be the same with Oceania. Older professionals that still like to dress well.
I feel like on Oceania, they're a little bit younger. I think it's a more younger.
See, I think like Ray. Ray would go on Oceania.
Yeah, and if you looked at the age group of the people that were on Celebrity with us, again, it was an inaugural, and so we can't really compare. But that is the image that I have in my head is an older crowd.
Yeah, don't know.
But I feel like Oceania is probably, in their 50s.
Yep.
I would think would be probably an average age.
Danny says, agreed, Antonio. Went on Jubilee last January, booked again for September and next February.
Yeah, I like the XL class ships.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 180,000 tons versus 220 or 240, something like that for the Oasis class, which doesn't seem to be a huge difference, but it's also a layout thing, which I'll talk about in just a second here.
It is definitely a layout thing. It really is.
Nurse Tara says, that's what I'm afraid of. I'm hoping we don't feel overwhelmed. And so when I talk about layout, and again, maybe that's it. Like when you get to the upper decks, everything's sort of split. Because remember, the ship has this big hole down the middle where all the, Central Park is and all these things. And you've got your inside balconies and your outside balconies. So when you get to the upper decks, you got pools on this side, you got pools on this side. And it was so broken up to me on the upper decks because it wasn't a solid deck because there's a hole in the middle of the ship. Now, when you get down and you get into Central Park, it was beautiful down there. We ate at the specialty restaurant with our friends, and we had a great time. It was really fun.
Yeah, I really did like Central Park.
I did, and down on the promenade, all the events they had down on there and stuff, that was fantastic with the balloon drop and
the parade and
and the parade and stuff. Yeah,
it was great.
We had a great time. Just was like, ooh, It was Christmas time when we were on there too. We caught the tree lighting ceremony. We caught that live just before we were getting ready to stream, and
that was the Mariner.
No, that wasn't the Mariner. Was it the Mariner?
That was the Mariner.
Was that the Mariner?
Yeah. We were on with Mom and Dad and the kids.
No, that was not the Mariner. I don't think so.
Yeah, that was Christmas. We had a picture of the family in front of the Christmas tree, didn't we?
We were on several cruises during that time.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we were in the little alcove.
Yeah,
were they with us?
That was the Mariner.
Then why wasn't the family with us when we were in that alcove? Yeah, because Larry would have been there. So yeah, it had to have been with the family.
Yeah, it was the family.
Mad cow.
Totally mad cow. See, we do this all the time.
It's also the reason why we don't count, because we just can't count that high. You can't remember.
No.
How many cruises you been on?
I don't know.
What?
Don't know, don't care.
Enough to want to start a YouTube channel, I guess. Antonio says, I didn't like the Jubilee. Celebration is my favorite. I find that comment interesting, right? So here's another great topic of conversation. Exactly the same ship. from a design standpoint, right? Both XL class ships, right? Everything's in the same spot, but the decor is different. The crew is different. And it creates a different feel, though it's literally the same ship, right?
And the decor is similar enough.
Similar enough, but different enough.
Yeah.
Right?
But,
So, I mean, just think, same thing. Celebration of the Jubilee. Celebration is our favorite. I mean, I loved the Jubilee. I had a great time, but I enjoyed the Celebration more.
same.
Now, it could also be because that was the first XL class ship we ever went on.
That could be too.
And so it may resonate if we'd gone on Mardi Gras, which we haven't been on yet, but if we... Sorry for the extra noise. That's the AC that just came on. Remember, RV, small place, loud. Sorry. Should try doing voiceovers in here. We're either sweating or doing it in the middle of the night. Anyway, so Danny, remember, TMC November 2025 is a week cruise plus 24 hours. It's just a week of 24 hours.
That's right.
Love the celebration. Yeah, we do too. Do you have videos in Symphony? Yeah, I'm pretty 99.999% sure we do.
I'm not sure they've all been released, but we definitely
hang
videoed
on.
the symphony.
Oh, yeah, from the live standpoint, without a doubt, because
Oh, yeah.
we broadcasted live like content.
Yes, we did.
Playlists. There are. Oh, are you kidding me? You are going to do that to me, aren't you? You bastard. There are 8 videos right now on the Symphony of the Seas on the channel from our streams. When are you going on them again, Nurse Tara? Oh, thank you, by the way.
Thank you.
I could go back and look, or you could just type in there again. I'd like to see your take on it, Nurse Tara. We want 47 miles and 7 days on Jubilee. Symphony's bigger. Bring your walking shoes. Yeah, it's a big ship. I agree. Robert Sorrento's is not that good. Okay. Hey, TMC, good thing you record your cruises because you have electronic proof of what ship you're on. I know, that's actually why I started doing it, because it's the mad cow. Can't remember. Just go back to the dates of the actual stream. Okay, you're good. I'll look for the playlist. Again, what date are you going on the ship? Again, Nurse Tara? I don't want to scroll back. I'm going to scroll back and look. But when are you going on a small ship out of Baltimore, and this will be our first big ship. Symphony. When you go on Oceana Country Club?
I don't think she said when.
I don't think she's. Yeah, Chris, I'm looking forward to October.
Okay.
All right, so by October, there may be some more videos. We have all kinds of stuff that we video when we're on ships, and because we continue to go on ships, things get pushed and moved around, especially because of inaugurals. So we have. Oh, where is it? When is it coming out? I can't give you an exact date for sure, but cruises. All right, I'll move it in front of the Anthem. Maybe in front of the Celebration too, because we have so many out on the Celebration. We have more stuff coming out. Shorts on the cabins, just some different things. So you'll have a lot more to watch before October, but you can start with the streams. We did it just like we do the stuff that you've watched. We go and we walk the decks, right? We're going to walk the plank. No, we do give you the full 360, and so there's a lot for you to see, okay? But we're going to continue to release stuff that we just haven't gotten to because of all the other stuff. So, but we'll get more out there. We probably have another 16 or 20 videos to put out on the Symphony. Well, I count the shorts as a video, right?
Yeah.
We do shorts for every cabin. We haven't done any of those yet.
Okay.
So maybe I try to get those first. So you can at least see all the different cabins. Okay, anyway, backing up. Internet says, no, the decor and the destinations and the ports that it leaves from. That's why I like the Celebration more than the Jubilee. Okay, I can agree with that because, the Jubilee is, in Galveston. It's basically going one place or, one itinerary where the Celebration is out of Florida and you've got multiple options.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. And that's one thing to say about, the ships that leave from, whether it's Galveston, New Orleans, or even out of Long Beach, right? There's not a lot to do, right? Because if you're doing round trip, you got to get to a foreign country before you come back to the United States. I don't know why that is, but you got to touch some foreign soil. So you ain't going north. I mean, I suppose you could go north, but you'd have to get up to Canada, touch Canada, and then turn around and come back, right? So can't get out to Hawaii. You'd have to stop somewhere else. It's just so many problems. So you end up doing a lot of same things, which is going south down to Mexico. Mazatlan and Puerto Vallarta and Cabo San Lucas and stuff. Yep. Okay, that'll be great. Look for your playlist. Awesome. Thank you. And you're our citizen. Thank you so much, you guys. We're awesome. Man, we try to do our best. The amount of VHS tapes they have to bring on board is enormous. 3 cases just VHS. I got a beta.
Somebody's talking about me. My nose is itching.
They're all talking about you. Oh, Macrina just says beta. Yeah, I got a beta deck. Yeah. Oh my good gosh, yeah, my camera's like that big. Actually, don't we have one in the house that's old that takes
we do
VHS?
We
sitting
do.
in there from like 40 freaking years
it's
ago.
The little
the little one.
cassettes.
No, Dad's old one.
Oh,
Isn't that a big one?
It's pretty big.
I don't know. We'll have to look just for fun. we'll show you. No, interestingly enough, we've talked this. I know there's a lot of new people on here tonight. We have a much more advanced setup than a lot of people have, right? We've got in my flying in stuff. I'm Robert, aka the Tall Man. My lovely wife, Lisa, right? And we got nice sounds, for everybody, right? So, but it's still very compact and still very portable. The main source here is just our laptop, and we do have a couple cameras, but they're small, tiny little.
They're really small.
Tilt pan zoom,
TPZ.
cameras, right? But all this packs up into it takes a couple suitcases, or a couple backpacks and a suitcase for everything. Because the stands, even though they're tiny, they take
The stands take up more room than the cameras.
Oh, yeah.
And the other gear.
Yeah, I don't. Where's the
What are you looking for?
the case for PAL?
You're using the zippered one?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I see it.
Okay. Yeah, see, it's so small we can't find it. We lose it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the case for one of the cameras. This is the small. The others are bigger. We have a total of 3 cameras. We only use 2 of them, but we take a backup.
This is the one that
small
follows
ones.
me.
Yeah, this is the one that likes Lisa. This is the one that's in the teleprompter. Our teleprompter just fits in this little box. I mean, it's just everything we have is tiny, and it's not 100% because of the cruise. It's 100% because we full-time RV. We don't have a YouTube studio. We're sitting in our living room, guys. Right? Okay, we did put up some nice blue lights behind us, but we don't have a set. This isn't a green screen. It's and
everything has to come down, and it has to go in little boxes and be put away.
I'm gonna actually do this. I'm gonna do it.
Oh, the place is a mess.
I know it's a disaster, but
it is. We are getting ready to move.
Yeah.
and
So look, we're in our RV, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
the bedroom's over there in the bathroom, and then we got a little bunk area over here.
Yeah, and it's a mess in there.
Yeah,
See, we're getting ready to move.
Right. So that's it. So unlike most of the creators that you watch, we don't have a YouTube studio.
We do not have dedicated space.
and nothing is ever set up. So every time we stream, it all has to get set up every time and tested. We've talked about that before, so we're not going to go through that all again. Yeah. So, but all the stuff actually it goes on the cruise ship with us. So when we stream live on the cruise ship, if you haven't seen us before, we take all this stuff with us, and so we're bringing you a professionally produced as best we can show.
We always have technology challenges.
Something's blowing up.
Yeah.
Our microphone this time, but we had a backup, right?
Yeah,
So
got a
we always have a backup plan, right? And we just keep on rolling through it, right? or even, when we're doing, reading this stuff here with, what just happened?
I don't know. What'd you do?
Oh, well, the camera's moved,
Oh.
right? So the flying graphics and things, right? It's just,
It's following me.
Yeah, it's all right. So, balcony cam, which is promenade cam for this thing, right? So, we just choose things to do. We just choose to do things a little bit different, and we love doing live.
Yeah.
And we love the interaction with you guys, so we do a lot of lives. And, look, we're 2.5 hours into this. Our content for the day was about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We gave you the week's news. We gave you the weather here in the Western Basin, if you will, the Lesser Antilles all the way up through Mexico and the Gulf of Mexico and stuff, and then some entitlement stuff. So we have some good fun, for the first half an hour, giving you a lot of content and good news. And then we do a lot of talking like this and Q&A,
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
Whether it's cruise industry stuff or just chit-chat, whatever, okay? Backing up. Harlan says it has something to do with the Jones Act. Talking about
You have
having
to
touch
touch
some
a
foreign soil before you come back. Yep. I still have my Beta and VHS,
Nice.
and my husband's over-the-shoulder camcorder. That's what I think I have is the over-the-shoulder camcorder. It's like I said, in some drawer in there. So, but we also have the literal one that takes the mini.
Yeah.
That's the one that we got.
Yes.
But Dad's is the old big one.
And I'm sure we still have his
HSC.
too.
Yeah, VHSC. Yep. More video equipment than a San Fernando Valley film company. Yeah. No, they have way more equipment than we do. They need to rotate the itineraries in Jubilee to Grand Cayman to Jamaica to mix it up. I would agree. 100%. It's not that much further. They can get there. I think so, without a doubt.
Yeah, I would think they should be able to.
Yep. So, anyway, yep. Oh, did I just put that in there? I put that in there twice. I'm so sorry. Karina says, we can all sit back and watch TMC lug all the gear onto the group cruises. We sit back with a beverage. No, everybody's getting a suitcase. It's part of it. You just didn't know. I love the lives too. No, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. Thank you.
Live stream on a ship is what separates you from other channels. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's
thanks.
interesting. Other than the backdrop, it's the same show. I mean, it's the same equipment. We bring all this stuff with us. It was funny when Mark and Rocky walked up when we were doing the show. Of course, we'd been running into them while we were videoing
Everywhere.
And so we said, well, look, we live show and stuff. This is where we're going to be. And so they walked up. They're like, you should have seen their eyes. They're like, holy crap, what is all this stuff? And it looks way more than it really is. It's a laptop. Our little, I can't because it's all, what's the word, cabled up. But my little things that I press, the buttons, it's right here. It's tiny. All it goes in backpacks, right? So it's just, nobody does that.
No.
Right?
Nobody wants to take the time and the effort
This is what they do. They go live on their phone and just sit there, or they walk around with it on their phone live.
Yeah.
And
but it's a lot of setup. It really is. And a
Professional
lot
good.
can go wrong, and we've got
get
a
a
lot
big-
of troubleshooting.
you got a big thumbs up. Thank you, madam. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Just think if we got some help. As one of my friends is like, yeah, you need to do this. You need to. It's like, dude, I've done that. I've emailed these people and I've called these people and we've tried. I was like, just some of the emails. I'm like, think of how much better some of this stuff would be if you'd help us a little bit. Just, can we get an extension cord? Some better Wi-Fi for Pete's sake. Anyway.
Better Wi-Fi would be amazing.
Yeah. Yep. Macrina says, agree, Chris. Love their lives on board in the RV or drive cam. TMC's fun. Yeah, absolutely. Because we're just two idiots.
Thanks, you guys.
And we love to bring you on board. Look, it's why reality TV is so powerful. It's, we've brought you a little bit into our lives, right?
And you get to watch all our mistakes.
So sorry. It's so scary here. Yeah. All right. Well, look, we have been on for quite a long time. We still haven't had dinner. Talk about eating, right? Still haven't had dinner yet. So we've got to eat dinner, and I got to pack all this stuff up because, again, I can't have it in the middle of the living room because as I showed you in the camera, it's an RV. It really is. So we'd love to have a full-time RV studio. And something we've talked about that, and we just got this RV. And we really had been wanting to do a fifth wheel, and went back and forth a few times on, do we do a toy hauler and turn the back of a toy hauler into a YouTube studio, which still, in the end, it doesn't matter. It still would all have to get packed up because the toy hauler would have to be rearranged and moved to move down the road because you have to put stuff in it.
You can't have these things bouncing around.
No, you can't. So it's still going to have to get packed up, but at least it would be, I could have more of a set look in anyway, as opposed to in our living room. But once it's set up, once we are somewhere for a couple of weeks, we could come on a couple of extra times, right? Where now,
once we set it up, we can leave it
we
up.
can leave it
while
up
we're
if it was a toy hauler.
in a location, and we don't have to take it down until we move.
Correct.
But the way we're set up now, it has to come down because we need the space
We can't get around it. I can't get to the door. Well, I could, but I mean, there's like this much space between the tripod leg and the cabinet behind it, so you got to step carefully so you don't move the camera. So, but yeah, so all this stuff has to be packed up so we have a little bit of quality of life here. So, but anyway, but yeah, so we appreciate you all. Let's see here. Speaking of live, when is the next one, Antonio? Sunday for sure, right? So this seems like it's going to be a thing.
Sundays.
It's going to be a weekly wrap up. A weekly cruise industry wrap up where we'll give you highlights of the news for the week so you can get it in one shot. So highlights of the week, all the big stories, and a little bit of talk about it. A little bit of weather for the next week, right? So 7-day forecast in most of the areas that we're cruising. Maybe eventually get to doing Mediterranean, but we're going to stick with the Caribbean for right now, and I'm going to work on that. And then, of course, we also like to do some of the entitlement things. So this seems to be like what may happen over the next 4 months. The problem we have is, again, schedule. Sundays, nights for a lot of what we do is a time that we're finishing things that we're doing, which means we're not done until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And so there may be some weeks we miss. So we're going to have to work it out. But Sundays and, occasionally we'll throw in a nice surprise for you guys. Okay, so there we go. Danny says you should advertise the lives at the end of all your other videos to get more subs. Yeah.
That's a thought.
We should advertise the lives at the end of all your other videos. So we should be doing, and I don't know, because I'm not the one that's putting up the videos. I have an editor that does all of those videos for us. We create the content and then they put it all together for us. Thank the Lord. Thank you, Clarine. We love you. I don't know if they're tagging other videos at the end. So I'll have to look on that to see if they're actually adding the end screens to do that. So yeah. But I would do other produced videos. I wouldn't do the live streams. Like if I'm putting up, something about the Forensi, I'll put up one of the other Forensi's produced videos. Go watch this. If you watch, deck 5 or the public spaces, go watch deck 11, the Lido or whatever, something like that. Anyway, is the drive soon? Yeah, week and a half, something like that. 2 weeks tops. I forget.
It's getting close.
Yeah, it's 20th something, so it's coming up. Break out the tongs, go to eat dinner. Good night, guys. Yes. So that being said, we don't have to go home, but we got to get there. Out of here. Peace. Oh, sorry, we are home. We're in our RV.